essentially was a quick little path continuing on through uh the Raiders' camp's hidden cave towards the rear. You guys have moved through the section where the bats and the sturges came from, moved into a little area where they appear to be training the dragon dogs. Fought a few kobolds there, dealt with a few traps that prolonged your cleric in a little bit of a delirious state. Fought off the kobolds in their own little barracks kind of place, and then took a short rest in their camp, and then have moved into the Dragon Temple, where you once again met with Cyanorath. After a relatively short fight with Lenderosa, feeling the lightning breath of this half dragon, I believe twice, the battle has come to a conclusion as Hadar moved back over to stabilize your cleric, and I believe that's where we have left things with, I think, Vicious is at 1 hit point, and I believe Tynus is stable on the ground at 0. And with that, we can hop back in and see what the party would like to do.
Great job securing the kill, Vicious, like we knew you could. Now, if you don't mind, are you able to use that healer kit there and bring Tynus back?
I think I can do that, but I think both of us could use some actual doctoring.
Well, if you bring Tynus back, I think he has perhaps a little bit of healing left, or maybe it'd be a good time for us to secure a short rest.
Yeah.
Great job in the fight there, Haydar. It was good to have you back for a moment. I thought you had departed on us.
Oh, I had a little bit of fear at some point, but then I saw you like dishing out this and hitting that one guy really hard, and I just couldn't go. I really thought of shouting and running, but I saw you guys were fighting. I couldn't leave you alone. I mean,
Well, we're glad you came back, brother. No worries either. I can completely understand the idea of self preservation. Some of us still have things to do and people to see, as where others are probably a little closer to the end than the beginning. And with that, Doc will pull out a cigarette and light it, offer one up to anyone else who cares to have one.
Kindness, you can take 13 hit points of healing.
Woo!
I don't believe you can use your healer's kit on anybody but Doc left in the party.
Oh, okay. I was
I'm
just thinking it had rolled, so I did that.
Well, as
Oh,
Tynus
I'd be
gets back
glad
up,
to.
just a little bit dazed, um, I gladly use my final spell as to heal up our damaged barbarian.
As you start to come to, there is a loud bang, and darkness fills the room.
Wait, how many points do I get back?
Yeah, gonna immediately cast light to try to re- get rid of that.
Uh-oh, looks like we're not quite done yet. Be on your ready. Do I still have my torch lit?
The torches are doing nothing.
Oh no!
I am going to need Tynus to roll a dexterity check for me.
All right, 15. Uh, I rolled a 15.
Yes, I know. Just give me a second.
I gotcha.
I am trying to figure out how I can actually put you all in darkness with dynamic lighting set up.
Hmm. I will say, my connection's been a little wonky recently, so if I like start to lag, that seems to be the thing that happens to me. Just let me know.
I don't know a particular way to do it at present.
No, I mean we could all just pretend we can't see.
So as the room goes dark, You will be unable to spot the torch that you have dropped on the ground, and as Tynus reacts, it will be about the same time that you would hear footsteps, and as he casts light, you would notice that Landarosa has disappeared.
This is not good.
Very much not good.
I want to look around if I see something still, if there's something more.
At present, you would see about 20 feet away from Tynus, and it just seems to be the two bodies on the ground between Vicious and Tynus and Doc and the wall. And I think that's about the distance that you can see inside of Tynus's light, but there still seems to be darkness filling this entire room.
Langdoresa has gone missing.
Yes, that was a strange magical darkness I'm not familiar with. And I will light another torch.
As you fumble to light a torch, you feel the heat from the torch as it catches fire, but it sheds no light.
I'll take a big drag from my
Huh?
cigarette. Does the cherry light up?
It does not, but you do feel the warm taste of smoke as it fills your lungs and the need to cough.
Perhaps we should spread out a bit and see if we can find the origin of this darkness and pursue Landarosa before he's back.
I
And
see anything?
Let's see.
And how many points do I get back?
I actually have not cast healing yet because this all of a sudden took place.
Hey guys, I think we should
Hmm.
hurry and get away from here.
Light isn't a concentration spell. Could I cast it on another creature?
You can certainly try.
Then, with the small bit of area he is able to see, Tynus will try to cast light on Doc's, I guess, unshedding torch.
And what did you previously cast light on when you were coming back to consciousness?
When he initially came to, he would casted light on his own mace. That's sort of his default since it's his holy symbol.
So, as you cast light on the torch, your mace will go dark.
This is
You
unsettling.
would know as a cleric that you can only have light on one thing, but it is a cantrip and it does not take concentration. So, you can cast it as much as you want, but it's only on the last thing that you cast it on, and it lasts for an hour.
Ah, gotcha. No, I see. Well then, I believe we should stay close instead of spread apart. If we don't know what caused this and we don't know where it is, best to be in a group as opposed to spread out where we can be picked off. And saying that, he will move closer to Doc now.
yes, I think we should secure the perimeter briefly and see where that leads us. And with that, Doc will sort of just make his way around the room counterclockwise.
Yeah, Tynus following right in his wake. I believe there is an entrance here, and he say this as they
1 second.
approach the
1 second.
southwestern wall.
Hold on. When you guys start to describe stuff, if you want me to describe the setting that you are in, you can say something, but you have to stop there. Because it's my job to describe the room to you. So you can't just move while somebody else is talking. You guys have to pick something that you're going to do, and then very quickly say something like, "Yep, I'm going to follow with Doc." And then the rest of the party can say, "Yeah, I'm going to follow with Doc." But if somebody's talking, you can't move your token or they have to stop talking. You guys have to find a balance there of what you are going to do. So
Gotcha.
before he actually starts walking around the room, continue on with what Tynus is doing, and then I need everybody else to decide what they are doing as well, because then I can start to describe things.
Well, yeah, Tynus would have simply followed behind him, keeping close to the light. And other than that, he wouldn't really necessarily be doing anything beyond uh, sort of responding to Doc when Doc points out any observations he may have.
Yeah, and I'm gonna join. So Hey, Doc, I'm gonna help you with searching the room. There's probably something inside here. Yeah, okay.
That's why I have token lock installed, is because there is issues with having people doing stuff, and it's why you trigger a lot of traps, because you guys don't let me describe stuff before you actually go about doing stuff. Vicious, do you have any plans to follow them, or are you just going to stay there?
Well, I was hoping for a heal, so I guess I'll just try and follow them. How much can we see?
That's exactly why I need people to wait for me to describe things so I can tell you what you see at any given point. So, Vicious, you can certainly ask for said heal. That would be probably the first thing that you would do, and then you can follow them, I assume, as they start to move around with the light because it is still dark.
I will follow the light. I will go towards the light.
So, you are presently standing in the center of what you guys already would have recognized was a sort of dragon icon icon room. There are dragon iconographs, there are bas reliefs all around the actual ceiling of this place. This place is clearly some sort of, if not the first, of the real dragon centric locations that you have walked into. So that should not be lightly taken right now. This is the first time that you have confirmed anything actually cultish and dragonish about these people. That is the first thing that would be still on your minds. You've only been in the room for probably, I mean, less than like 30 to 60 seconds at this point. And though there is darkness all around you, the light from the magical torch would certainly shed light once again across the dragon heads that line this room. The corner that you are in right now, that western corner, is where you walked in and you saw Cyanorath praying, and you basically walked into what appears to be a temple. In that corner in particular, there is a treasure chest directly in front of you to the west. That is what that orange box is. From there, if you all would like, you can move up to dock, and then you all can start to move around the room.
All right. Currently, I can only see my token, not Doc's.
Usually, when that happens, just click your token, move yourself, and move back. Usually, moving should light you back up.
Nope. Staying in shadows. It's interesting. I can see the map fully. I just can't see anyone else's token.
I have no clue why this room has issues with dynamic lighting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Does that make any difference, moving the light source?
It does not. I've still got full view of the map as the dynamic lighting paths haven't really moved, but the map is all basically grayed out and I can't see anyone else's tokens.
Yeah, it's set
Maybe
on
I should do a
Explorer
refresh.
mode. I don't think the refresh is going to change anything.
Gotcha.
How about now? Do you see anything right now?
I do not. Still in that same situation.
Alright, well, Theater of the Mind. You all have a description of the
Got it.
room. What would you like to do?
Then at this point, Tynus will, of course, remember I was meant to be healing someone, and he will uh, look to you, Vicious, and say, "Sorry, the sudden change of atmosphere caught me off guard. Let me heal you." And he'll use his last first level spell to cast Healing Word. Oh, weird, it didn't appear on the table initially. So you can get back 4 points of healing.
That takes me to 5, so try not to engage anyone in combat.
Oh, weird, I've got color restored to the map now.
Yep, I turned off dynamic lighting.
That makes sense. I believe if we can, we should examine the spot where Langdros's body once was. While the chest is quite enticing, The disappearance of the body timed with this sudden darkness makes me believe there may be some connection between them.
The chest was always there.
And he'll just sort of say that to the group at large, though he isn't going to make any moves outside of the group's collective movement.
Yes, I get the strange feeling that we may not be alone. When Landerosa's body disappeared, did we hear any kind of noise or anything? Footsteps, someone dragging the body, anything like that?
You heard footsteps.
I also heard a
Uh,
loud bang when I came to.
so if we heard footsteps, could I tell which direction the footsteps went in?
They seem to have gone south.
I believe I heard something to the south. Perhaps we should pursue, worry about everything else later. And with that, I would like to, like I said, start going counterclockwise around the perimeter of the room.
You can make an investigation check unless you are just simply walking around.
I
Uh,
didn't mean to hit that twice.
you have a pretty solid understanding that this room seems to be, like, generally squared off. As you kind of move around the actual perimeter, it seems to be among the nicer, like, finished masonry in the area. The walls seem pretty straightforward, and that would kind of be you all more or less investigating that, like, western wall, and the areas that you would have kind of seen initially that seem to be almost like, I don't know, kind of like a figure eight around that stalagmite, that kind of like creates a central pillar to the south of the treasure chest there.
I think we should try and pursue whatever creature removed Landerosa. Would you tell me if at some point in time my torch starts functioning normally again? I'm assuming it still has fire, but is not generating natural light.
And as we pass by that pillar heading towards the south, um, can I do a quick sort of perception to see if I recognize what Langdorosa was praying to when we entered?
It would have been in that area where the treasure chest is, but there doesn't seem to be anything in particular.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha.
it would be pretty simple to understand with all of the dragon heads that line this room that perhaps she was praying to a dragon.
How many heads exactly are in this room?
There's probably a dragon every 5 feet or so.
Not specifically five. All right.
You can roll a perception check.
Ah, yes. 13.
As you kind of look over these dragon heads, looking to see how many there are, you quickly pass over far more than five. But after a moment, you kind of go back as you notice there's five colors to these dragon heads. They cover the traditional chromatic dragons, but most of these are black dragon heads.
How strange. Let's see. Most of them are black dragons.
So this is the general area where you all would have heard the footsteps kind of patter off to. This is the area where you more or less saw, you would have seen, like the wall kind of smooth over as it crosses over this little area and then kind of jut back in to the rest of the more or less like rectangular room. And it appears to be just another wall in this area.
I would like to hold the light torch or whatever towards like the ground and see if I can see where like the trail of blood that Landerosa's like severed body would have left behind and where it goes.
You may roll a perception. Perhaps this room is used for sacrifices, but as you kind of like drop the torch towards the ground, it might just be that there's blood scattered across this floor pretty regularly, but it's really hard to be able to tell at this point. There doesn't seem to be anything extra disturbed about the ground from here.
So does it appear there's a wall directly in front of us to the south right here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're about like 10 feet away from the wall.
All right, I want to get just a little closer and like physically try to touch the wall and see is it some sort of illusion or something.
Tynus is going to try to stop him and say, Before we explore further, I believe we should check that chest. There may be something of value, not in terms of wealth or power, but in terms of information stored within. Given the nature of this room, I'm inclined to believe this is a temple of worship, and therefore there might be some texts or documents that would help us going forward.
I don't disagree before we get too far away, but I feel like pursuit may be our best bet at this point in time. That's the only reason I'm a little hasty.
Why would we want to pursue further? Just questioning. If anything, we are in no state to continue a battle, and pursuing the people who are or creatures attempting to rescue Langdorosa, I don't believe we would be avoiding another combat.
I think whatever creature or thing came in here and took the body away probably was more afraid of us than we are of them, or they would have just come in and fought us, no doubt.
You can make an intelligence check.
Both of us or just Doc?
The stock. Um, didn't hear anything dragged. You heard footsteps. You heard like a bang and then footsteps.
Yeah, I'm just assuming something took the body away just because Vicious like smashed the entire like skull and face of Landerosa.
Hmm. Am I aware of the footsteps or did I only hear the bang?
Um, I think your passive perceptions, you were coming to. I'd say it's more likely that you heard the bang and wouldn't be able to distinguish footsteps of your friends coming to rescue you from any other footsteps that would have happened in the room.
Makes sense.
Are you all moving back towards the chest? Are you moving towards the south? Or are you going to split up?
I mean, Tynus kind of held them in place, but if he's determined to go forward, he won't continue to stop him.
Tynus, what if you and Vicious stay here, guard the chest so nothing can approach, and I just take a couple steps down south here to see what's the deal?
Hmm. Take Hadar with you then. If we're going to split up, I would rather we be in twos rather than three and one.
Fair enough. I think there's a possibility that the bang we heard was the chest closing, so they may have already gotten what was in there, but perhaps in case we have an invisible adversary or something like this, you could just sit on top of it, or maybe Vicious could.
I'm more inclined to believe that the bang was the casting of a spell that dropped this magical darkness on us.
Makes sense, but again, you know more of these things than I do.
Let's go back and look at the chest, and then all of us can continue together.
I think that's
Unfortunately,
also.
our
I
only
would.
light source is that torch when we're within this magical darkness. If we proceed more than 20 feet away, we won't be able to see what's in the chest.
Yeah, I would. I think splitting up is a bad idea now because I feel like we are not in a state for fighting split up something. If there's something,
Wise words, Hadar.
I agree, I agree. I won't go far. I just want to see if there's something janky about this wall real quick.
Very well. We'll pursue your line of reasoning first then. And from that
I,
point, Tynus will move back his hand and just sort of follow along again.
Essentially, the moment you step further south of where you are, the light from the torch regains, and it seems to be beyond the edge of the darkness spell that has been cast in this area.
Hmm. All right, so I will light another torch
You have a freshly lit torch right now. You don't have to light another one.
Okay, can I finish what I was saying? I will light another torch and leave it on the ground and then hand back the torch with the light spell to one of them so that they will have the functioning light source inside of the
He
darkness.
can cast light every 6 seconds, forever. There's no reason for you to waste the torch, was why I interrupted you. So you are welcome to use another torch. But my point is light is a cantrip. He is a cleric who can cast it forever.
Yeah, once I became aware that you had light outside of the magical darkness, I would have recast it on my what you call it, my holy symbol. I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, going forward, no need to light your other torch. As soon as the Tynus becomes aware that there is natural light again, he will basically recast light on his mace and hold it up. All right. Now I feel more comfortable with our split idea, if we're all still going with that.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to step forward like 5 to 10 more feet and see if this wall is an actual wall or an illusion. I'm not trying to like go through the rest of the dungeon or anything.
Very well. Vicious, follow me. And he will just start walking back towards the chest.
Roll another investigation for me, Doc. After you step another few feet forward out of the magical darkness, you kind of like move forward to touch the wall and very quickly pass your hand through stone. And as you pull it back out, the stone is there again. And you quickly recognize that there is indeed a false wall in this section of the temple. And it is most certainly where the body of Landerosa has gone.
As in, I see the body of Landerosa, or as in it moved this direction?
Like you heard the footsteps, the body was missing, and there is a false wall that you have just discovered. But you do not see anything else than that.
There's something going on down here that's janky. This is a false wall, like I suspected, beyond the god. Now I'll pass the torch through it and just kind of like try to peek through it and see, now that I have light, what I can see through the wall.
As you look through with your head and pass kind of beyond the actual false wall where the light seems to stop, it continues on as whether you have the torch on that side or not. But there appears to be a tunnel that kind of leads up about a 45-degree angle. And it gets like where you're at narrows down quite quickly, but it leads up into the stone. It's a pretty clean tunnel. It's not like it's a refuse dump or anything. It's clearly hidden off by magic for perhaps the same purpose that it has just been used for as an escape route of sorts. But it appears to climb up, from what you can see without climbing into it, at least like 5 or 10 feet.
Search the box, and I think we should pursue as quickly as possible. It's likely Landerosa was able to save herself and is fleeing either for reinforcements or worse.
Very well. And once we get up to the chest, I guess initially Tynus will try to check it to see if there's any non-magical traps, since there's no way to detect a magical one without some sort of sense.
You can roll either perception or investigation, however you would like to look for traps.
Okie dokie. That's a 15.
There seems to be some sort of mechanism about this lock that is perhaps beyond just locking purposes.
Suspicious. Doc, do you have any experience unlocking or disarming traps?
I've got a set of thieves' tools, but it's not exactly my cup of tea, if you know what I mean.
It's more than I'm certainly capable of. Would you give it a shot? I see some sort of mechanism on this chest, and I worry for a trap.
Yes, I can do so. And I will leave my torch on the ground right here. So once the torch is like at the wall itself, can I see through it still, or is it like a proximity thing? I'm not really sure how the magic works.
You can't see beyond having your head through the wall. Whether the torch is
Okay.
on that side, if the torch is on the opposite side, there's no light coming through the wall. Everything about it appears to be stone except for the fact that your body passes through it with no problem at all. And the moment you step back towards that stalagmite, the torch's light goes back out and it's dark again.
All right, so I'm gonna leave the torch right at the end over there, and then walk back. That way, if something comes through where the torch is at, I would see it light up potentially.
You do not see beyond the actual darkness. The edge of the darkness is still like the end of what you guys can see at this point.
Oh, so if I walk away from the area where I can see outside of the darkness, it still is dark
Yeah.
everywhere, not just where I'm at.
It's like an opaque barrier.
Gotcha. I will use my thieves' tools to try and open the chest.
I will try to offer assistance by keeping the light where he can see it best.
Does anybody actually have proficiency with thieves' tools?
I certainly don't.
Nope, I just bought him back in town because I thought it might be useful.
I don't.
Me neither.
I can use navigator's tools. I have no idea when that would come in handy.
Yeah, so I think it would just be a straight dex check to see if you can pick the lock.
And is there any way for my stabilizing the light to give him any help on that?
Nope.
Fair enough. Ah, if only.
So as you are fiddling with the locking mechanism, you all would start to hear almost like a sizzle as it appears something has been triggered from the locking mechanism, and there's just like a low hum almost as you just hear.
Everyone get back!
I need everybody to make a dexterity check and a constitution check.
Checks or saving throws?
Saving throws. My bad.
Gotcha.
I think I'm feeling
Uh,
sick.
I rolled
17
wrong.
for my dex, 12 for my constitution.
I forgot to roll I did a normal constitution. I did a yeah.
I don't think that'll matter. Do you actually have saving proficiency?
I think +2,
You do
and also
not.
oh no, I do not. I got what I misunderstood you. Yeah, I do not.
And this is why you want to save spell slots for after people go down, not to heal up for before people go down. Um,
Oh boy.
so as you all are enveloped in this magical darkness and you start to hear a low sizzle through the room, you will start to notice as these heads all across the room, I think 13 passive. I think anybody really, I think you're all 11 to 13 passive perceptions. You could pretty quickly gather that it appears all of the black dragon heads seem to be spouting forth a liquid that shines in the magical light, and it seems to be vaporizing almost at the moment that it leaves these dragon heads. And it is both a sizzle of acid as it is falling from these dragon heads, and then it is vaporizing into the air, and you all are breathing it into your lungs. So, Doc, you are going to take, I believe, 2d6 acid damage as you breathe the acid. You are successfully able to dodge uh, it like hitting your skin, but you will take 4 damage from breathing the acid. I believe Vicious will pass both. Hadar will take, I believe, 2d6 as the acid splashes on him. 7 damage to Hadar.
Oh,
And
that was close.
Tynus will dodge both as well. But you all have triggered acid that is filling up this room, and you know of potentially 3 exits. And you are well enough aware that it's time to get the fuck out of the Dragon Temple.
How heavy is the chest? Could we drag it with us?
If you want to continue to think about that, I am going to deal more damage to you. You guys are burning with
Right.
acid. You are not thinking about treasure right now. And again, if you want to think about treasure, you're going to have to make more saves.
Yeah, fair enough. And bolt to the south, I guess, since that was the exit we were thinking about going through.
I'm gonna follow that.
As you step towards the illusory wall, you do quickly realize that the dragon heads are in the main area, and this little alcove is out of the main spray of their acid, though the vapor is still filling it. What is the order that you all plan to climb up this little exit tunnel that Doc has found?
Let me take point just in case. I know y'all are a little more in danger than I am. I'm still in my prime.
I'll follow right behind you.
Sure, I'll go third.
Yeah, I'm on 2 hit points. I don't know if it's the best idea if I would be the last one.
Fine, I will take up the rear.
And Doc will, as he steps forward, pull out his flask and open it up and take a drink, and I will activate my second wind. Gain back 12.
Nice.
With that, I will step forward and start attempting the ascent.
So there is a rope ladder that seems to hang down this little cavernous incline. So as you kind of climb up where it's like 45 degrees, as it starts to get a little steeper, you quickly notice that there is a rope ladder beneath your hands. You are able to start climbing that, and it seems to lead up into what becomes a steeper incline, where it seems to be cut off. And assuming you picked up the torch that you kind of dropped down there, you would quickly notice that there seems to be some sort of like woven material across the stone, and it seems to be. I think you could orientate yourself enough to realize that it seems to be something flat across what is likely to be the ground that covers the hole.
As in, like a carpet over like a dug hole that would be a trap, or I'm not sure what your description is.
I think you would be able to recognize it as a carpet over a dug hole. Whether it's a trap or not, I don't know. That would be a test for you to check.
I guess I would just like lift up the carpet and see if I see something underneath.
As you start to lift up the carpet, you would hear a response from inside of the room as humans in or a humanoid voice would say, "They're coming! Get them!" There's no responses. We will go into initiative. So, Tynus, you would hear the muffled voice ahead of you that seems to be saying something, and pretty quickly recognize that it is not one of your party, but you are essentially at the base of this little incline that seems to be climbing up.
Hmm. This is. I believe we should go, but there's nowhere to go with that poisonous gas. And, can't see any enemies from where I am, right? There's just me climbing up after the rest of the group, yeah?
The group is single file at this point. I don't think anybody would have cause to see anything other than Doc. And from his perspective, he lifted the rug enough to see that there was nothing really happening other than the fact that he heard somebody response to the little bit of movement that he did.
I guess he would step back down into that out. As he's not on the ladder yet. He will step back. Still, no, the alcove is filling up. Crap. Uh, just gonna have to, I guess,
You gotta make
proceed
a
forward.
decision.
He's gonna proceed forward with the rest of the group since we're single file and he can't
All right,
push
that's
past
the end of your
anyone.
turn. That's the end of your
There
turn.
you go.
Hadar, you have Tynus pushing from behind you, Vicious in front of you. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much in between them right now, and what I would want to do is keep going. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't. There's nothing to fight for now, so that would be my turn.
Doc, what would you like to do?
So this is a hole in the ground that I just lifted the rug off of.
Yep, you are basically at the top of the rope ladder. You've essentially figured out that it is a hole in the floor, and you are more or less kind of. This is like coming up from the sewer in Ghostbusters. You're like checking to see if there are any cars coming over the road right now. And as soon as you kind of checked the carpet, there was a response from in the room that basically you understand that there are people who recognize that the carpet started to move.
Okay, so I'm looking down into this hole, and is there any light emitting from it or anything, or is it just the light from the torch I'm holding?
I believe you would see light coming from Tynus behind you, and then the torch in your hands at this point. But like you didn't actually reveal the room when you lifted the carpet. You more or less were able to like push up on part of the carpet and recognize that you could easily throw the carpet out of the way, but it covers this entire area. It's not like just the size of the hole. It's larger than the hole, but it's like clearly a carpet thrown over this um, exit and or entrance, this intermediary path that seems to be hidden by both a carpet on one side and then that magical wall on the other.
Okay, yeah, my intent is definitely to like throw the carpet off so that I can see what's going on. So if that's not already happened, that is what I will do.
So as you throw it aside, you are going to be in 3/4 cover as 3 people are going to take shots at you. So +5 AC for this, 21 to hit, and 8 to hit.
So I guess depending if I'm counting as having my shield or not is a factor.
I still think most of the time you should count on using your shield as a regular basis. Otherwise, there's no reason to really carry it. Doing things like drawing your bow are where you are forced to stow it, and then when you actually go to use double knives in a single turn, are where you would have to use a free action to stow it, or you would drop it to throw both. Um, but essentially, your free action is used to throw the rug to the side here. So if you want to throw 2 knives, it's more than likely that you have to actually actively drop your shield. But other
No,
than that, it is
I'm definitely looking to be a little more defensive here, just because of the condition of the party. So I will assume that I have my shield out. So I would be at 17 plus. How much is from the cover? Is it 4 or 5?
+5, so it would miss. Give me 1 second here. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. DC 12. You will take 4 necrotic damage as a blast of dark energy kind of like flies through the hole. And then you see before you there appears to be 5 different cultists. 2 of them have just thrown spears in your direction from the southwest of you, and then one of them from the northwest of you has conjured that spell that he just released upon you.
And the two that are up north or whatever, do they appear to be like more heavily armored than the ones in the south, or can I tell a distinction?
The ones to the south seem to be more fighters than the ones to the north.
Okay, gotcha. I will just say there's at least 5 of them. If I die, make sure to tell everyone how handsome I was. It's okay to embellish. and then I will shoot my crossbow with sharpshooter at the dude who, one of the north guys. I guess just the closest one to me.
All right. You're shooting the hand crossbow.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop my hand crossbow at the guy that's like directly like northwest of me, I guess.
The one who is closest to you seems to be the one who just released his spell on you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would just naturally shoot at the closest of those guys, though. 7.
A seven is going to miss.
And then with that, I think, man, everybody's so low. I'm going to just remain on point and make sure that I'm the target of as much as I can. So I'm going to move up and I guess like try to engage. I guess I can only really engage like one guy, either north or south. I couldn't engage both of them.
Yeah, like from what you could tell, that would be your closest bet is to try to move between the two on the north, or you could move between two on the south.
Yeah, I want to try to like engage those two guys as best I can.
Yeah, my bad. Their spacing's often me cutting and pasting guys, not necessarily where they are as if they move there, but that's how they would move. That's properly spaced. As your turn comes to an end, the one to the northwest of you is going to appear to be casting a spell as well, and I need you to do another dexterity save, DC 12. As you are rather prepared and familiar with this sort of blast from a beam of light from above, the necrotic light seems to pass between you and the floor as you are able to dodge out of the way, and it will go to Vicious.
All right. So I do not want to get in hand-to-hand combat if I don't have to, since I only have 5 hit points. I will aim my light crossbow at the northern person.
You have to at very least move to the top of this area to be able to see anything. You are currently 5 or 6 feet down this hole.
I can't seem to move.
Frozen with fear.
Do you just want to stop at the edge of the hole? Are you planning on climbing out?
Where are all the targets? What can I see from where I am?
Once you peek your head out, you can see Doc is between two targets to the northwest of you, and then there are 3 targets to the southwest of you. 2 almost directly south of Doc, and a third further to the southwest that appears to be coming out of a corridor in that direction.
All right, I'm going to climb out and head 1 space north. I want to stay away from the 3 that are coming in. I'm going to stay back enough, like here, so that I can use a crossbow instead of the hand weapon. But I apparently can't shoot, so I miss. Unless they have a really, really low AC, maybe.
Nope, you definitely miss.
All right, that's it for me.
Alrighty. I believe the one in the furthest southwest will come fully out of the tunnel as he approaches forward with a spear in hand. Is going to strike out at Doc, and he is going to hit you for 9 piercing damage as he strikes his spear into the underside of your left arm, like in between. I think you wear mail of sorts, in between like the weak point of your armor.
Oh, I think I'll go ahead and give that a little parry. I'll try to knock it away with my crossbow.
So it is a total of 3 remaining damage, but I feel like you reduce even more than the d8, so
Yeah, I got 6 plus 3, so it should do none.
yep, it was 9 total with the crit, so it will be down to 0 damage. As you are able to parry it off of yourself and away from your armor. And I believe we are back to Tinus.
With my 30 feet of movement, would it be possible for me to break this sort of climbing formation that we were in and try to check to see if that room is still filling with death, basically?
You could most certainly try to go back. There's nobody behind you.
Then, yeah, I'm going to go back into the alcove, not necessarily back into the magical darkness, but just back into the alcove to see if perhaps I can use some sort of yeah, I'm gonna try to see if there's any chance that the statues have stopped spilling out their poison, their acid, and if it's safe to return to that room now.
Make a perception check.
That's a 12.
It still seems to be sizzling as you start to approach further towards the back.
Dang it. Then yeah, I'm just gonna return to where I was before, and end my turn there. There's not much I can do.
Make an attack on Vicious with a spear in hand. A 7 will miss. And it will go to one of the acolytes. Will strike out on Doc. Please make a saving throw for me.
Dexterity again?
Yes, please. We'll do 4 necrotic damage to you. And then it will go to Hadar.
Well, I would first off, as I see that Tinus comes back from behind and looked if there's still poison, I would guess, okay, there is still poison. And so I would climb out. I don't know how far I can climb. Can I climb out of it now, or is it too far?
Yeah, there's no issues with you guys moving through this area. That was the point of mentioning that there is a ladder. It is 15 feet to the edge of the hole, 10 feet to the edge of the hole, and then you would have, 20 plus movement from there, depending on your movement speed.
Okay, and so if I'm on the ladder at the top, how much space would be there? Would it be possible for me, like, to stay there and for Tinus to pass me there? Or
It
is it
is
too
quite
small?
literally the size of a human body.
Alright, okay. So I'm gonna move out of it first. I can't move my token into the area there.
So that is at the
Thank
edge of the
you.
hole.
And I would simply just move from the edge of the hole so there's a little bit of space and punch the one in front of Wishes. And I'm gonna shout, if I die here, I'm gonna take you with me.
Nice.
A 20 hits.
And I'm gonna do another. Wait, I should have waited until it's.
A 19 hits as well. He's definitely bloodied.
For 4 more damage.
As you smack him right behind his shield arm, kind of snapping a bone, you hear the massive crack as his shield arm goes limp, and then with a nice little judo chop to the back of his neck, you appear to have killed this young soldier.
Ha ha ha. And that, that would be the end of my turn then.
5 is the perceptually weakest. I think this one is going to rush for Hadar. It's going to strike at you for a 14 to hit. I believe that misses for 5 piercing.
Yeah, that misses. I have a 15.
And it will go to Doc. Yeah, so just so you guys know for today, I have Vicious as 1, Tinus is 2, Doc is 3, Hadar is 4, 5 is their weakest enemy, and then 6 is their closest enemy. So I'm rolling a d6 to target you all today.
Oh, cool.
Nice. All right. With that, Doc will. Guess I'm gonna go ahead and throw my shield caution to the wind, and I will go for a stab on the closest of the I guess like the cult guys, like the one that's northeast of me.
So if you are just stabbing, one of the things with how the actions worked last turn is you had your crossbow and your shield in hand. I think stowing your shield with your free action is the intelligent move, and then dropping your crossbow to make 2 attacks. Otherwise, if you're only going to make one attack, it might be a viable option to stow your crossbow and then attack with whatever weapon you draw with the single hand.
Oh no, I got my crossbow is sort of like a pistol. It's like on a string at my waist. So I'll just drop my crossbow and stow my shield, and then I'm gonna double knife. But I mean, if I have to pick my crossbow back up, that's fine later. I have to reload it anyway. It's not like it's functional. So 12 for the first one.
Who are you attacking? The connection's interrupted.
The guy that's like, north, east of me, the guy with the helmet on.
All right, the guy who did the first necrotic blast to you. Yeah, 12 will hit.
That's right. For 6 damage.
That will leave him bloody.
And then one more at him again. 18 for 4 more.
And again, it's like having connection issues with roll 20, but that will drop him to the ground. As you, so that was like a knife in each hand, like a dagger in each hand.
Yeah, knife in each hand. Yep.
Yeah, just kind of like slipping daggers into like each side of his ribs as you like pop a lung, and then with your second attack, do the same to the opposite side, going for the weak points in his armor. You are able to dispatch that soldier.
And with that, Doc will say, I'm so drunk I'm seeing double. Good thing I've got 2 knives, one for each of ya. And that will end my turn. I reloaded my thing too because it sent me an error message, so hopefully it will work after this.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with you guys being loaded. It is simply roll 20 has never upgraded their system since the virus.
Yikes.
The next acolyte is going to weave a spell, and you will see as the 3 remaining soldiers seem to be fortified by some sort of dark purple light as it almost circulates them in a double helix form, and it will go to Vicious. You currently have 3 people, all of them either between Doc and Hadar or to the west of Doc.
Yeah, because I can't see anything. All right, so it looked like I had somebody to my west.
So the reason I said that is the guys who were immediately to your west are now dead. There's one between Hadar and Doc, and there are 2 to the west of Doc.
The real question is, do you want to go for the caster or the one of the 2 fighters?
I'm going over here to the farther south one because if I go in between, then they're both going to be able to hit me, and I still only have 5 hit points.
You can encounter whoever you would like to. Okay, you're trying to avoid the 2 people.
Yeah, I don't want to get in between 2 people right now. Normally it'd be fine, but I'm real low.
I believe everybody in your party is low except for Doc. So any given one of you trying to avoid attacks is just increasing the likeliness that somebody else is going to die.
Well, apparently I can't hit anything anyway.
Did you roll to attack him?
Yeah, that was a roll to
What did
attack.
it's not loading. What did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 1, and that would be a 1 plus 5 to make it a 6, which is still really low.
Yeah, I feel like roll 20 has some lags because it's showing me the reload.
Yeah. I need you to roll a d20 for me, Vicious. Were you attacking with your maul?
Yes, that's with a maul, and I rolled a 14 on the 20.
Hadar, your AC is below 19.
Yeah, it's 15.
And how many hit points do you have? 2?
2.
Even if you roll double ones with them all, Hadar is going unconscious.
Oh, lovely. Sorry.
Right.
Rolling a 1 next to friends is always fun.
And especially when I'm so low on hit points.
Well, the good news is for an action, she can stabilize you and bring you back to a single health for as many times as she would like.
I thought
Or rather, as many hits as the healing kit has.
it was only once per person.
You can only do the, like, nice heal that gives them essentially at this level, like, it's 8 plus a d8 that your actual heal does, but you can stabilize them at a single hit point as long as you have healer's kits. That's like the main badass part of the healer's kit. The healing aspect of it is just a side bonus that's good, but it's only good for a single time per long rest.
Oops, sorry, Hadar. I didn't mean to do that. I'll come back and fix you as soon as I can. Don't die before then.
The guard to the west of you is going to strike out with his spear, Doc. A 16, 19 to hit for 2 piercing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Logging that.
And then Tynus, you are at the base of this. I believe you have 15 to get into the actual like view of everybody. You will see Hadar unconscious on the ground as Vicious is apologizing.
Yeah, I will move up into the hole, but I will not exit it, and spare the dying Hadar, I guess. That way, the two actual heavy hitters can keep heavy hitting, but I can't bring him up, unfortunately. I'd just rather him not be close to death. So, Hadar gets a spare the dying to not be close to death. He doesn't have to roll any death saves on his next turn. But other than that, that's all I'm going to do as I remain partially in cover within this hole. Wait, can I get out of the hole? I can't tell if Hadar is blocking me or not.
Yep, you still have 15 feet of movement, and you most certainly could leave the hole if you would like.
I'm gonna
He's
leave the
plugging it.
hole. Yeah, I thought Hadar was plugging the hole with like his body at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the hole, if only so that I can potentially draw fire at least once. But Hadar is stable, and that's all I can do this turn.
Roll a 4 to target Hadar. The guard is going to strike out with advantage, trying to spear the corpse on the ground.
God dang it.
19 to hit, that will be 2 death saves lost.
Damn.
And it
Don't
will
worry,
go to Doc.
I can spare the dying as a cantrip, so
He's
yay.
still stable. It
Oh,
doesn't
good, good.
break the stability.
Okay, good.
But also, as a side note, Vicious has to stabilize a creature to heal them for 1 point. So you guys have got to get out of this combat in order for Hadar to actually regain consciousness.
All right, I'm gonna go for the guy that's like south um east of me.
The one who just struck Hadar, most certainly.
Yeah, that fucker.
Oh wait, did
Oh, you like to hit
okay?
him
Yeah,
with
you
your
spared the
bow.
dying as your action. My bad.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to hit him while he's down, do you?
21 will hit. 5 will leave him. It's not looking healthy, but he's not bloody.
You don't look so good, friend. You might need a doctor.
And 6 is
20 for
enough
6.
that it kills him. So with that, I think you all would know that these guys have approximately 16 AC and have 11 hit points.
That's what I picked up.
Let's see. Going to swing a club at Doc with an extra D4 for bless. 16 to hit. I believe you've dropped the shield, so that should hit for 4 damage. And then Vicious. There are 2 remaining on Doc to the west of you.
Well, I'm gonna move over. Well, no, wrong person. Okay, here we go. And try with them all.
Don't hit me, Vicious. I've seen what you can do.
Oh, I won't hit you. I won't hit anything else either. I have not hit anyone yet. Except
Use
my
2
buddy.
light weapons. We've had this conversation so much. Use 2 light weapons.
Yeah, but I get bonuses on them all. Like, it's good for me if I ever hit with it.
If you get twice as many chances to hit when you have the least likely opportunity to hit, it is the time in your life where you should be using 2 light weapons.
All right, next time, if I'm still standing.
The guard that you just struck at is going to move wheeling around Doc. Vicious, you can make an attack of opportunity if you would like. This would be a really good time to hit, because there might be a reason that he is moving around. Nope.
God dang it.
Never mind.
Ha ha! Perfect time for a nat 1. As he strikes out at the body of Hadar, he is going to miss.
Thank goodness.
Right.
And we'll go to Tynus.
All right. Let's see. Could I get into this space where I'm
Saying this
right
space is never
5 feet?
functional.
Oh, my bad. Can I
North
get
of
into the
Dock,
space that is north of Dock and west of the Acolyte?
you can most certainly move north of Dock.
Gotcha. That should put me within 5 feet of both of them, and I will cast Word of Radiance with the utterance of light and celestial.
I believe that's a dexterity save. What's your DC? 13?
Yeah,
Con save?
it is 13. Yeah, it's a Constitution save, and my DC is 13.
Acolyte is good, will take no damage, and the guard will take 6 and he will be bloodied.
Preserve our lives. And he will just say that out loud as a prayer.
And on to Doc.
And Doc will say, "Get away from Hadar, you son of a bitch," and try to knife that dude.
Oh boy.
Damn it, that one.
Roll a d20 for me.
I've never crossed my fingers to be hit, but I'm actually
Hey,
doing
Dar's
that now.
neck gets slit.
Just please hit me.
I believe
Doc
a
says,
12 will miss Vicious. Um, and I think you have one more, your secondary weapon attack.
yeah, one more time, same guy.
15 will hit. 4 will leave him alive still. Very bloody.
That's the end of my turn.
Holy fuck, 4 is a cursed number.
Oh,
Again.
come on.
Doc, make a... No, he's going to swing at you with his actual club. Uh, 5 will miss, and it will go to Vicious.
All right, I am now going to switch to the axes because that seemed like a good idea that you had before. And I'm going to run over here and try to finish taking out this guy.
23 will hit, and it will kill him regardless of how you roll. And a 25 will hit the Acolyte if you move over to him.
Thank you. It's like finally roll well. And all 4.
Well, if you'd attacked with the Maul and the guy with a single hit point, it still would have done an auto kill that would have been pointless. So again, hand axes are usually going to be the best weapon for you to attack with. There are very few opportunities that you can hit somebody with a full damage attack, and these guys can live right now. So click that hand axe on the crit.
Sorry, you want me to roll for it?
Yeah, the actual damage. If you click where it says hand axe from that crit, it'll roll the 2d6. Like it'll roll the damage die.
That good?
But like if you click that pink where it says hand axe, that would have rolled the actual crit.
It's in the chat, by the way.
Well, I rolled the first one. So yeah, you deal 9 damage with it. It will leave that guy severely bloodied.
Okay.
Actually, wait, the acolytes have 9 hit points. It will leave him severely bloodied because he is dead.
Even better.
So, Hadar, please roll a d4 for me. You guys have a while to wait while Hadar is unconscious on the ground. What would you like to do?
I believe we should take this opportunity to rest as best we can. We are in no position to continue forward, especially with how many enemies we tend to face. Another horde of kobolds will likely be the end of us.
I agree. I don't like admitting weakness, but especially our friend here seems to be passed out or near death or something. Oh,
He's
I
stable,
will.
so he should come to in a few hours.
I can try the healing thing on him.
Nothing else that you can do right now. Unless you all have saved healing potions, I believe you are fully out of healing abilities.
Yes.
Vicious, hit me with that healer's kit one time while you can. Even I know my limits.
I believe Vicious has to wait another long rest before they can do the proper full heal.
I haven't got one yet.
Yeah, she has not done it for Doc yet.
Oh, right. It's one per person. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm at a hit dice, so even on a short rest, I wouldn't actually be able to get anything back. I might have one.
While they're doing that, this new area that we've seen is. I'm not going to walk into it, but I'm going to try to investigate to see if it's trapped.
Roll an investigation.
Damn it! It worked before.
Just an 8. Yeah, gonna have to walk into it to really see if it's trapped then.
Yeah, this area seems to be living quarters, but it doesn't seem explicitly to be trapped. Seems to be have cleared out with a hasty escape.
Yeah, I will enter the living quarters and see, is it large enough for all of us to potentially take a rest here?
I mean, I think you can figure that out just by viewing it as a person looking at your miniature in the size of the space.
Oh yeah. Just wanted to be sure.
Thanks.
He will return to the party and say, despite how dangerous it may seem, I think our best bet is to try to rest for as long as we can in these living quarters. The temple we came from is currently inaccessible unless someone can survive that acid trap, however long it may last, and we may be able to at the very least make a defensible position here if we try to rest.
I agree, friend. Here, Vicious, give me a hand with Hadar. We'll drag him in that little cubby up north there. We can take a rest.
All right, so we'll drag him in, and he'll go clomp, clomp, clomp on top of the ground there. Hopefully, he won't wake up with a really bad headache.
Yeah, and I'll join them in that little alcove.
Oh, I hit athletics on accident. I meant to hit strength. But
Yeet.
I
if
really
anyone
like
would
the
like,
idea of how you all describe it, making it really open for me to deal another death save and kill off Hadar because you said we're going to clomp, clomp, clomp his head.
Let's not kill Adar.
Oh no!
Just saying,
We
when
should
I
just
deal
do
2 death
Vicious
saves
as
to
a dummy.
somebody, you probably shouldn't say, we're going to drag him as he goes clomp, clomp, clomp.
Yeah, let's lift him carefully as if he were a newborn child and rest him somewhere soft.
I still hear the fire alarm going off.
All right, we'll
I,
carry him
it's
gently.
yeah. That thing is it's my it is my what you call it? Fire alarm. I still haven't bought a new battery yet. I will though.
I'd like to imagine if it's still beeping to warn you, it still means it has power.
Oh
Haven't
yeah, it
burned up.
does. Well, then my house is perpetually on fire, and I'm just used to it. Don't worry about it. I'll
So
be
you
more than
most
welcome to
certainly
take a long
have.
rest. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna ask the party.
I was going to ask the exact same thing. You all most certainly have a opportunity to rest as you would like to. If you would like to try to take a short rest, a long rest, or whatever you would like to do, we are most welcome to attempt to do that.
Long rest, rehab.
Let's attempt a long rest.
My greatest fear is that Langderosa will be gone, but I must know limits.
I will take the first shift. I will try to watch to make sure no one enters, and if they do, I will warn as best as I can.
Go beep, beep, beep.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. I can't do anything.
So if
Oh,
you all are going to attempt to take a long rest, let me have 2 perception checks from Tynus as he takes the first watch. And then who would like to take the second, the third, and the fourth?
at what point does Hadar become functional?
You all don't really know, but you also know from the D4 that he rolled that it's in 2 hours.
That's a 22 and a 20 for my perceptions.
Well, I guess we'll just assume Hadar is going to be last since he's unconscious. And Vicious, you want to go second or third?
Second.
So let me have Vicious take a 2 perception checks as you take your watch. Tynus's goes by with little to no occurrence. Let's see. Shortly into Vicious's watch, we're going to hear what sounds like footsteps, quite heavy footfalls. What would you like to do, Vicious?
Wake up! Something's coming. I'm gonna say it as quietly as I can after gently shaking the two of them that are definitely alive. Is Hadar alive?
Hadar would be at 1 wound. He would have woken up around when Highness gave you the watch.
Okay, so he's healthy. Well, not healthy, but kind of functional.
Yeah, I'm barely alive.
Doc will jump up and grab 2 daggers and take point.
Yeah, if I've been woken, I will also take point next to Doc.
So, um, are we slightly healed at all?
Nope, you all are at the exact same condition you were in. So anybody who is wearing anything beyond light armor is currently unarmored. I believe all of you are actually wearing light armor.
I know I am.
I'm not.
Well, you're wearing less than light armor, so that also doesn't matter. I will have you all roll initiative.
Oh, wow. That's funny. I actually forgot. I forgot if I clicked my token or not. So I was like, crap, I'm gonna do a thing. But I'd done it.
Hadar and Tynus, let me have you roll a d6, please.
Okie dokie. That's a 2.
Doc, as you step out towards the edge of this little compartment where you can guess the whoever left this place sleeps in, you quickly spot a large dragon-like creature as it is crawling out of the hole, and 2 kobolds that are flying about 10 feet off of the ground to the north and the south of the hole. What would you like to do? Let's see. It'll start off at Vicious as you see Doc walk to the south.
All right, so I can. The dragon thing is currently climbing out of the hole.
Indeed.
All right, I will try shooting it.
Oh, good shot.
23 will hit.
Why does it say 4 and 7?
I believe you double click the damage.
I don't think I did. Okay.
And then is going to go to one of the kobolds. Going to fly over Doc as it drops a rock on his head for a 22 to hit for 5 damage.
Affirmative.
And then Hadar, you see as a kobold flies over Doc, dropping a rock. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. I'm probably gonna throw. No, I'm gonna shoot my radiant sunbolt. I wanna do it. And it
23 will hit.
for 4 damage.
He will be severely sunburned. And Tynus, what would you like to do?
Taking a crossbow shot at the kobold flying above Doc. Oh god, a natural one.
Roll a d20 for me, please.
I'm sorry, Doc. A 5.
Please don't hit me.
I wasn't even looking in your direction.
You know, it's a 1. Everything can happen.
Yeah, sure.
Like ricochets off the wall.
Yeah, it like ricochets off the wall and sticks right back into him.
No, it's legitimately at people who are in the path of things when you roll a 1. I have contemplated with spellcasters that on a 1 they should be able to blow up in their face to do damage to themselves.
Well,
But even then, that would be specifically versus spellcasters.
Well, I didn't hit Doc at least, so I guess I just missed that kobold.
The Drake is going to bite out at Doc and then whip its tail at Vicious. A 9 to hit Doc and a 17 to hit Vicious for 4 bludgeoning damage.
Uh-oh.
Kobold will move forward. Going to attack Doc, dropping a rock on his head for a nat 1. Um, 10 plus 5. D6 plus 3. I think that's going to be enough that it's an auto kill.
Yay!
Misaligning his momentum, he is going to kill the other flying kobold. And it will go to Doc.
Thank you, natural one.
Vicious, are you still up there?
Yeah, I believe Vicious is at
What?
a single hit point right now.
Yeah,
Okay, sweet.
barely standing.
I'm gonna go ranged attack on the flying cobalt. Can I do that, or was that gonna be disadvantage?
It would be disadvantaged because you are essentially still in combat uh with the guard drake. But I'm not saying it's not a bad idea just for action economy's sake. You guys know
I'm
enough
actually
about
going
kobolds
to,
that they are 13 AC and they have 7 hit points.
So wait, am I in contact with both of them now? If I move away, they would both get opportunity attacks.
I feel like I've played it with the ranged guys that they do still drop a rock, but like they were flying over your head is what I was going for with the rock droppers.
All right, Doc is going to look over at Vicious and say, "Vicious, I want you to go reckless and then step back. I'll draw their fire, and then I'm gonna take like 2 steps forward or 3 steps forward, procking opportunity attacks from both of them, like right there."
12 from the rock and a 13 from the guard drake. I believe both of those attacks will miss.
Yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna throw 2 daggers, and as I do, I'm gonna say one more time: make sure you fall back after you attack. First one's going at the cobalt. Damn, 10 and 11.
Are you out of superiority dice?
Yeah, I'm out. I used them all on that parry attack way back when was my last one. Because we didn't get anything back from a short rest, even though we slept 2 hours or whatever. We have to wait till it's either a
Yeah,
full long
correct.
rest or whatever.
And then it will go to vicious.
I'm stepping back into combat though to draw their fire.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm gonna go reckless on the drake in front of me.
14 hits, 23 as well.
Yeah, I'm not in rage because I don't have any yet because we didn't finish our long rest.
And then we'll go to Hadar. You can always go reckless, though. You don't have to be in a rage. And that's fishing for crits as well as hits, but you hit still.
Right, I know. I was just saying because it says rage, but I don't have any.
Well, is the small one on the ground or flying? Sorry, I missed it.
It is flying.
All right, so I'm going to throw a dart at it first.
A 7 will miss.
And now I'm not sure if I should move close to the other one. What would the I mean, we came down to after I throw a dart, could I do an unarmed strike or didn't we count it as possible? No, it the dart is counted as an attack action, so I can do an unarmed strike. No, I can't. Okay, sorry. I can't. Okay, so I'm gonna stay here. I read it. Everything's okay. Yeah. So I was unsure about it if I can throw
What
the
is the
dart and
point
then
of having darts instead of daggers?
I do not know it, but I have them. So the
I just
problem with
don't
the dart,
understand why darts wouldn't be light weapons.
Darts aren't light weapons?
I feel like maybe monks have a rule where they treat them as such. I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be able to throw 2 darts in a turn. So for now, make a second throw, but I feel like monks have a special rule with the weapons that they treat as monk weapons. I don't know. That just seems really weird that you can't throw
no.
2 darts.
Yeah, they're way lighter than daggers, that's for sure.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna do that and try again. It's a miss again, but
Yeah, it's better you got 2 shots at it.
And to Tinus.
Tynus will step forward into the place Vicious was once occupying, and he will cast Word of Radiance with an utterance of light. DC 13 con for the dragon, and I believe the flying kobold is 15 feet above me, so out of
Yeah, it's
range.
too far away. 22, the guard drake takes no damage.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, there is no reason that you should be carrying darts and not daggers.
yeah, probably.
And as well, I'm just going to throw it out there. Doc has approximately like 75 million daggers. So borrow a couple of daggers from him until you go to town, because there's no reason to throw darts when you have access to daggers.
Yeah, I was thinking that now because the next time I was in town, I would want to buy some daggers, but I
I've
probably
got
can
more
ask
daggers.
Doc.
I've got more daggers than friends by a lot.
Right, the
We
drake is
can
going to
keep them for
bite
after the
at
fight.
Tinus, and then
Reporting,
it's going
sir.
to strike at Doc with its tail.
Gonna
So
warning fire
a
that bastard.
12 with the flare, and then 23 to hit Doc with the
Miss.
tail for 8 damage.
That's a miss on the bite then.
Affirmative. Doc is bloodied.
And drop another rock on Doc's head. A 9 will miss, and it will go to Doc.
Oh, I suppose I'll try this one more time. Tynus, I'll draw their fire. He's gonna take a step back.
I wish I could respond.
Op attacks if you want.
news?
Well, the good news is I don't think the Drake can accidentally bite the kobold as it's flying, but I rolled a nat 20 for the kobold for 13 damage, and I rolled a nat 1 for the guard drake for a nice big miss. And by good news, like I said that from myself, not from the perspective of you guys. My apologies, but sometimes it feels good to actually take the crit.
And then I'm gonna sharpshoot the flying kobold. He's not damaged at all, the flyer, right?
Again, you guys know enough about those kobolds. You have fought them enough. They are 13 AC and they have 7 hit points, and he is at full health. That will
There we
kill.
go.
And just another side thought to everybody. Please try to focus on the weak guys first and then kill the big motherfuckers when action economy is on your side. It is almost
then-
always the right choice. And it will go to vicious. Obviously, you can continue to move. I will almost always quit once you guys are done with your actions, but if you still have movement, you can always jump in with anything else you wanted to do. 19 will hit. Anything else from Vicious?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Okay, I'll back up.
And to Hadar.
Well, 1 second. Just want to know. So I'm going to. I mean, would it be possible for me to throw 2 darts this turn again, or?
Yeah, for what it's worth, that's fine.
I think I've
Yeah,
missed
okay.
it
Then,
up
then I'm
there.
gonna.
You could probably pick a couple up and throw them.
Yeah, I think for what
Okay,
it's worth,
totally.
you can rock it out for this combat and then just assume that you would. I think we noticed it last session when you guys were in the 7th room where they were training these guard drakes. And I felt like I brought it up and it seemed curious then. But yeah, I would just say at this point,
Yeah.
let's just count on the fact that you have however many darts you have in daggers, and you can just swap those out in your inventory and then start collecting daggers.
All right. And for this turn, I'm just gonna throw the darts, so we don't need to until I add them to my inventory. Or?
Are you going to move?
No, I'm just going. Wait, I'm gonna step to the side once.
Excellent. I was gonna say, it's in massive cover right now. If you could even see it.
Should I just roll the dart and then add them after?
I don't understand that question. You can throw 2 darts if that was your question.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my question.
Stats and everything should be the same. It's a D4 damage for a dagger or a dart.
Yeah, that's what I don't get about it. I feel like darts are specifically a monk weapon, and for some reason they don't just start with daggers. But I don't understand why they're different. Both of those will miss though.
I think they might have like
Yeah.
fixed it at some point in time. They like changed the spear and I think maybe the dart, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
And then it will go to Tynus.
All right. Dynas will take 1 step back so that I can use this range spell and cast Toll the Dead.
Any spell that is a saving throw, it doesn't matter whether you are in combat or not.
Oh, well, then I am not moving. Yeah, we're gonna cast Toll the Dead, and Tynus will utter from death life.
Oh no, he should be able to move because that was the whole point of me proccing the op attack.
No,
So
he's
he's only
able to
moving
move.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's
my
only
point
moving life. I
was
thought I couldn't range that one.
cleric damage cantrips are all saving throws, so it doesn't actually matter in the least bit whether he is in combat or not. It rolled a 14 though, it is good.
Dang it. And I will end my turn right where I was.
It is going to bite and then smash with its tail on Tynus.
We'll
Another
flare
fucking
that.
crit and a 1.
Wording flare that crit.
It's a 24 to hit for 6 damage.
Yeah, well. Yeah, take that.
Better than the 25 for 9.
Definitely better than the 25 for 9.
And on to Doc.
Nice. You're still up then? I'm gonna chuck 2 daggers.
What is your actual hit points at with Tinus?
He's at 7.
12 will miss, 19 will hit. I believe those daggers would be the first ones that you start to see the wounds really starting to weep on this creature. And it will go to Vicious.
Okay, I'm gonna step in again and try to hit with 2 axes.
Both will hit. Creature is looking severely bloodied at this point. And I believe from there we will go to Hadar.
Well, then I'm gonna pull out my daggers and I'm going to throw them
22 will hit.
for 4 damage.
How many darts were you carrying before?
Wait, I threw, I had 10 on me.
Okay,
And
that's
I
probably
shooted
what it
2 out.
really is he starts with a shitload of darts. And
Yeah,
I don't know why you would have darts be much lighter than a dagger and not count them as a light weapon, except for to force it to be that he can only throw a single around. But that's the big difference between darts. You need to actively go out of your way to pick up enough daggers to be able to throw them through a round like this. That's part of what I've held Doc to, is that you've got to keep count of what you expend so you know when you've actually run out. But it will go to
Again,
Tinus.
I think you get 10 darts for like 5 gold or something like that, or 1 gold, and you get 1 dagger for 1 gold. So
Yeah.
that's like a big difference.
okay, should I decrease the amount of darts I have on me? I mean daggers.
I mean, for what it's worth, you're out of daggers at this point. Um,
Okay.
but that's the big difference between darts and daggers, is that you can get a lot of dagger or darts for next to nothing.
Yeah, alright.
17, no damage.
He's a wise ass guard Drake.
It is a straight roll.
Oh, it's just been lucky, dang.
It is going to step out and take a attack at Doc.
Can I get opportunity on it?
Are you a warcaster?
No, but I do have my mace in hand.
You can swing your mace. Wait, you
I'm
do
not
not have
going
your
to
mace in
use
hand.
this mace.
You can swing with an unarmed attack.
You know what? It's better than nothing.
If you have a shield in your hand, you do not have a mace in your hand without warcaster.
I got a 20 on that unarmed hit, though.
Roll a 4, you can kill it.
0 damage. Because I'm actually not built for hitting things.
22 and a 15 to hit Doc. With the bite, it will do 8 piercing, and with the tail, it will do 8 bludgeoning.
Yeah, I'll take
That
what
is embarrassing.
2 death saves then, I think.
You'll go down after the first.
Yeah, I have 8 life.
Yeah, so the second will be an auto crit.
I basically slapped its scales as it walked away.
Gonna have it make it do its second attack at Vicious for a 15 to hit Vicious for 8 bludgeoning.
Wait, instead of against me?
Yeah,
I have an AC of 15.
so it'll hit and deal 8 damage to you.
I am down.
Yeah, that's worse. How does that help us?
It's more the dice instead of just doing a single targeting. I rolled for the second attack to see if it was wise enough to try to attack threats versus attacking the same target it was going for. It wasn't necessarily for anything.
See, I told you, this is a wise guard Drake.
Doc, I rolled a death save, then Vicious.
Do you want me to roll a death save?
Nope. And it will go to Hadar.
Well, before I save anyone, I'm gonna try to take out the guy in front of us. So I'm gonna jump over and run here, and I'm gonna punch him with my. I'm gonna attack him with my quarterstaff first. Damn.
Just a miss.
Then I'm using my bonus action for another unarmed strike.
12 AC and 4 hit points. Get the kill.
Wish me luck.
That
Of
will do
course.
it.
Yeah. Great, and I'm just gonna shout to Tinus. We have to stabilize them.
Yes, let us, and I will spare the dying both of them if I need to.
Pick one first.
Spare the dying Doc first, and then after a bit, Vicious.
Didn't roll a 1. She is safe.
Cool.
So you have 2 stable corpses. Vicious and Doc, please roll a d4 for me.
Come, Hadar, let's take them back into the alcove, and hopefully we could try to rest again.
Oh, we can do that.
That's the only hope we really have.
I thought if you got disturbed during a long rest, but you had already rested over an hour, you still got credit for a short rest.
I've never heard that rule before.
I believe it's the decided difference between what you take. I can definitely look into it. But as far as I've ever run things, I don't think I've ever altered off of you either choose to do a long or a short rest.
Yeah, I feel
And
like I read the way I read it. I feel like when you prepared to take a rest, if you rested successfully for a full hour, you got credit for a short rest. But if you rested successfully for 8 hours, 6 of which were actual sleep, you got credit for the full long rest. But that it was like a perpetual cycle.
I just want to say before we rest, I want to pick up the daggers.
So who would like to watch first of you two?
yeah,
I can.
Hmm?
You want? You can go first if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Tinus will go first once again.
Perceptions, please.
5 and 8. I guess he's still tired.
So the other two would wake up at a single hit point after that. And Hadar, I assume you are going to take the next rest cycle. If you can roll 2 perception checks for me, please.
Wow.
And then Doc or Vicious, who would like to watch this session?
I can.
And then for the final, Doc or I guess Vicious rather.
All right. Perception.
All can take the benefits of a long rest. And we'll take a little break here and come back at about 35 after.
Okay,
Oh
so we get
boy,
full
thank
hit
goodness.
points, right? We're all better.
Long resting.
You can click the long rest button, but yes, that will take you back to full hit points. Resting inside of an enemy dungeon is not a wise choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
walk
but
around at
proceeding
one hit.
at what we're walking around with, there's no wise option now.
So everybody died at least once.
Actually, Tinus. Oh no, he died first. Yeah.
I like to refer to it as being forced to go to sleep, but it's all however you word it.
I'm trying to get rid of this bar.
I still don't know how that stupid ass lizard like got away from us. Like Vicious like smashes its head in with a hammer, and then we're like standing over its corpse, and then it gets dark and it's gone. Like what? I was like getting ready to like chop its tail off. So we
I
had to
mean, the way I
quickly.
describe things and the chance for stuff to actually have dice go in its favor, I rolled a 20 for her death save. So Landerosa came back with a
Gotcha.
single hit point at the same time as you all were stabilizing Tynus. And then I use a darkness spell to cast darkness in that room, and Landerosa ran
Yeah, but
away.
how does Landerosa
Smart.
like cast darkness and get up without me noticing when I'm standing over a corpse getting ready to chop off her tail? Like that, like I think I would notice her like coming conscious or at least casting the spell, something.
She
Because we literally ended last session with me standing over the body with her head like smashed in, which would lead me to believe that she was already like finished off dead. And then second off, I was literally planning to like take her teeth or chop off her tail or something so we could take it back to the town and have proof that we like killed her.
she did a great performance on you.
I mean, instant spells are instant spells. When you drop a darkness, it's just there you go.
Yeah, but if you cast darkness, you would have to say some kind of words and do some kind of somatic action. So you'd have to come conscious, speak, and cast a spell without anybody noticing from like 3 inches away while they're preparing to chop off your tail. I don't know. I'm
It
just saying.
could be like how I cast light and I just sort of instantly do it. Maybe she has some sort of intuitive connection to darkness.
It's also not necessarily a
Even then,
spell.
though, even then though, there's verbal words for a darkness spell, right? Isn't there verbal components?
Uh,
Eh,
But that is not necessarily
there's
what
also
Landerosa used versus magical items that can cast darkness as well. The point being was I was using a narrative function for how the dice rolled, and it was an aspect that gave Landerosa a chance to leave, and that's how it played out.
Well, I'm just saying, I would think that there would be some kind of opportunity attack or perception check or something to notice if a creature like came back from the dead with a smashed in skull in front of your face while you're like standing there getting ready to like coup de grace it. But
well,
again, that's the weird thing about ending a session right as we kill a bad guy without getting to resolve the situation.
look at it on the positive side. We get to fight Langdrosa again, and maybe this time we'll actually be able to like knock her out and get some info out of her. Him. I keep forgetting he's a him. Him. Langdros is a boy.
He's a boy.
He is a boy. I keep forgetting he's a
Yeah,
boy.
it's just a weird situation. I think that that would be like unrealistic.
Yeah, fantasy world realism. But yeah, I'm more happy that we get to try to interrogate them. I took Zone of Truth for a reason.
Yeah, that can definitely be a useful spell. Well, I guess if they like fail their check or whatever.
All we got to do is knock them out and tie them up, and I Zone of Truth them. I'm actually trying. I'm trying to play Tynus is a little bit less of a straight killer like most of my characters have been up to now. I'm trying to make him a little bit more on the cautious, intelligent side than the walk in, kill it side. I still like killing things though, so it's kind of hard. Sometimes I forget to like, hey, let's not kill a thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of usefulness to not just like killing everything and like getting info.
I am back, just reporting in.
I'm here.
Yeah, me too.
I never left.
I went off and grabbed a slice of tiramisu.
Nice. Can't beat that for lunch.
Yep, pretty much tiramisu and water. That's lunch today.
Is that like a starvation diet?
No, it's a an unresponsible adult diet. I really
Without
should not
any
be allowed to
actual
feed
adult
myself.
supervision. Yeah, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to just sustain off of cake.
I should not be allowed to feed myself, but I do. So cake and water.
Yeah, that was a clutch kill there at the end, Hadar.
Yeah, I really felt like we had to do it. I I mean, with the misses, with all my misses before today, I feel like I didn't even hit a single one before. I hit one time today, but everything else missed.
Oh yeah, we have not been rolling particularly well.
Eh, it's the dice.
Yeah.
Everyone pretty much back at this point.
I think we're all here.
Yippers.
So what I see on resting, um, just because a long rest basically says the characters must be. Oh wait. If the rest is interrupted by a period, nope, still wrong line. Um, God damn it! It literally says you have to be uninterrupted to gain the benefits. Um, Characters must begin the rest. Damn, to gain any benefit. It's the wrong fucking line. But it says somewhere in the long rest on 186 that a character must like take the whole rest to gain any benefit from it.
For the long
Fair
rest to
enough.
gain any benefit. But if you read short rest, it says you literally just have to have an uninterrupted 1 hour period. So the idea is that by taking a short rest, you gain back some of your benefits. But if you have the ability to take the complete rest for 8 hours uninterrupted, that you would gain all the benefits of a long rest.
I
So
don't
it's
necessarily disagree with the idea, but it's basically, it seems to be a pretty solid consensus, and it's how I read it, that they are mutually exclusive things, though. You either take a short rest or you take a long rest as far as the mechanics go.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but if you read the actual rule book and everything, like the way it's worded in the rule book, it says that a short rest is obtained by taking an uninterrupted 1 hour period where you do no heavy activity. So if you're attempting to take a long rest and you rest for over an hour, you would gain the benefits of a short rest because you rested for over an hour without doing any of those activities. So you do not gain any benefits from the long rest, but you do gain a full benefit of a short rest.
And again, I don't necessarily disagree with the thought, but how I understand it is I don't believe that you take a short rest in the first hour of a long rest. I think it might be more for the first person who actually keeps watch that perhaps they are doing something along those lines. But I kind of agree with what I was finding online that it's mutually exclusive. That perhaps taking a short rest and then taking a long rest for a 9 hour rest period might be the more ideal situation. But I do not see an interrupted long rest as being beneficial in the least bit.
All right. Well, then, just going forward, we should just do that. Take a short rest first, and then a long rest. That way, we at least get it. Anyway, so we're all good. How? This is a noob question, but I don't have this in my brain for some reason. How many hit die do I get back on a long rest?
Half of your hit dice. So you all are four, you should get 2 hit dice back.
Gotcha, gotcha. And where are my hit dice listed on this sheet?
Yeah, if you look up, it says the rules for a long rest state, PHB 186, that a long rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells, or similar adventuring activity. Therefore, taking a short rest does not interrupt a long rest. You can have short rests within a long rest.
I wonder if that is an older or a errata because it is not in my PHP.
Weird.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it sounds like it's an errata, basically, or a clarification of one interrupting the other, because it makes perfect sense. I mean, I get if you're interrupted for over an hour, you would not gain the benefit of the long rest, but I don't see any reason why, if you're interrupted in a long rest, you would not have gained back the first hour benefit of a short rest.
I think that would have to be like ruled, be like at the table.
Yeah, I feel like you can do it. You can reason both ways, and
Yeah,
I'm happy with whatever we give to the DM rules.
yeah. When the players' handbooks contradict each other that way, yeah, it's always best to just say, hey, DM decides.
Oh, I
It's not
always
the first time the PHB has contradicted itself.
I always think that the DM's overruling or ruling takes priority regardless, but If you're just trying to go by the book specifically and you're not sure, that's different than overriding a rule because you like it better a different way.
Yeah. You guys, Jamie and Jan, your character's tokens still have the red ring.
They are at a single hit
Oh
point
yeah,
on their actual character. They have not updated.
yeah. I only updated it on D&D Beyond, but I changed it.
I did. Look at all those healing juices. I like the little splash.
So, are we ready to start again?
Yeah,
believe
I have a feeling that you
starts
might
now.
have an older version that has been errataed because the errata don't list what they've changed. It just lists like what they read now. So as you all wake up from your rests, the last watch was on Vicious. What would you all like to do?
If I could point something out to everyone, during our first attempt at arrest, those kobolds and that dragon came from the room that had initially filled with that poisonous gas, leading me to assume we might be able to head back that way. Do we truly want to proceed in this direction and potentially run into Landerosa again, or there were other exits from that large temple-like room? Should we consider going through one of them?
Oh, my brain starts hurting with so much thinking.
It's a simple question of choice, my friend. Do we want to continue towards Langderosa, or do we want to continue on our original path through these caves?
Well, the question would be this if we I mean we slept here for a long time. I feel like we will not find Landerosa if we follow this road.
You have a point, and they've also had the time to potentially reinvigorate their forces in either direction.
Yeah.
Wise words, my friend.
So
Yeah, I think that we should at least pursue the remainder of this tunnel until it dead ends. We are likely at either an immersion to the surface or close to a dead end, at which point we'll have to head back into the caves anyway and clear them out.
Fair enough. I just wanted to lay out our potential options to us. I'm of the inclination to continue on this path as well. While I don't foresee us running into Langderosa again. I would like to see where he got off to. With that being said, uh, Tinus will proceed forward.
sorry, I had to step out for a second. Did I miss anything?
The party basically decided to keep going the way Langderosa went.
All right.
Actually, we didn't hear any input from Jamie. What do you think, Jamie?
I don't care. I just kill things.
That's a good answer.
Not the brain. So we're going to follow. But then I'm going to step right after Tinus.
I believe this is the exit we are pursuing now. Would
I
you
think
like
it's
to take point, Doc, or should I?
I've got no problem taking point, and I'll pull out my tinderbox and relight my torch.
I do prefer to follow behind. It's a little bit easier to get my bearing on a situation. So I will follow behind you. And of course, I have my shield out and my light blessed mace, which is really not a weapon at this point.
If things are afraid of the dark, it is.
You have a point. Wise words, Vicious.
So you all see a hallway before you that seems to lead out of this room. And while it still seems like well constructed and like have fine masonry, it's not nearly as nice as the room that you are presently in.
Well, let's check for traps. As they get closer to the hallway, Tynus will look around to see if there are any tripwires or if the walls, the ceiling above the little hallway is got those loose rocks we saw before. Just looking for any of the traps we've seen up to now, any sort of indication of them again.
Can make a perception check.
There's a 16.
Doesn't seem to be anything that jumps out at you.
Well, suppose we should proceed. I don't see anything.
As you head forward into this room, it seems to be lined with cots. There seem to be about 15 beds on the south wall and about 12 on the north wall. A little bit of an opening in the center part of the room that leads to the north.
Gonna go investigate these beds, see if anyone left anything interesting. Once again, more or less looking for information, but if I happen to stumble upon some items, that'd be nice too.
Make an investigation.
Was there anything nice in that treasure chest?
We never got to open it. It sprayed us, or it activated a trap. Yeah, it's a 14.
Spend about 10 minutes in here looking through all of the different things scattered about the room. You find bedrolls, you find blankets, different cots for sleeping, but overall you don't really find anything that seems terribly important. There's a few like stone carved trinkets here and there, but overall this seems to be a very austere military barracks.
This is more military than it is ceremonial, so I suppose a cult wouldn't have much information lying around here. I would like to investigate that other room once we reach this dead end. If we reach a dead end. He just sort of says that out loud, but you can tell it's thinking to himself more or less. Trying to see what the end of this room is. Is this just another hallway way
I
down?
revealed the entire
Or
room
does it
because
light up the
dynamic
hallway?
lighting is broken.
Ah, yeah, so that's just a wall. Well, Doc, do we proceed down this hall as well?
Yes, it makes sense to me.
Very well, lead the way.
I'll check the area right here for like any traps.
The
Just
whole
to know
map
which.
right now is gray to you all, except for basically the Dragon Temple, the like last room that you battled and rested in, and then this barracks, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, we
pure
can
black
only
to
see
us.
what we explored today. Now that
Oh,
opened
hey,
up
those are the rooms we.
before.
Yeah, now we can see the rooms we used to explore. Room 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I'm actively revealing them to you all right now. I appreciate it, but it was definitely just the initial question.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So you come out of the little barracks and you see that there is clearly a T in the hall here. And again, that is pretty much meta knowledge for you all to realize this. Unless somebody is actively drawing a map as you go, you don't specifically know that there is clearly a hidden passage to the east, but you guys are approaching a T in this cavern that seems to lead either to the west or to the east.
Doc, you were going to investigate?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna check see if there's any traps right here at the bottleneck.
You can roll an
Sounds good.
investigation. You take a moment to look through, and that would be enough that you don't really spot anything of um any note. But roll a 4d6 for me. You find 2 gold pieces, a silver piece, and 6 copper that just seem to lead out of the west. Well, I guess for what it's worth, they seem to lead out of the west and into the east, but it's like scattered across this hallway as you search through. Um, and if you follow it, you would come up upon on the right side. There is clearly a false door that is whoops, fashioned like a wall, and you can see like the mechanism of it coming from that side, and then coins basically leading to the west.
And that was where we came in. Two right here was the false door.
Yep.
All right, so I guess since we know where that goes, basically like from coming
And
in
you
or
want, yeah,
whatever.
you would see that that door is left cracked open at this point.
Okay, so I guess we'll go the other way, and then Doc will say, looks like we missed a little something on the way in."
How unfortunate, but we've picked it up now.
Yes, perhaps that's how Landarosa made her escape. We'll have to keep that in mind should we need to expeditiously retreat.
I'm willing to bet.
As you follow the trail to the west, or the tunnel to the west, you walk into a room that seems quite large. It seems quite quickly ransacked, but there is another. Let's see. There's about like 8 or 10 coins kind of scattered across this room as you first walk in, as well as a single body lies on the floor. It would appear that there is a passed out acolyte who seems to be resting next to a large keg that is tilted over, and they seem to be kind of laying down in liquid.
Ooh,
Picture
lucky
this.
us.
Like this party party.
Doc will do like the shush thing or whatever, and then I'll sneak up on the body and attempt to restrain him.
You can make a stealth check. You are most certainly able to move up on this person. They seem to be snoring with a little bit of labored breathing. As you get closer, you definitely smell like a stale ale that he appears to be laying inside of, having apparently tilted over this keg as he got wasted and seems to have been left behind.
All right, I'll slap the shackles on him.
Upon being shackled, he does stir a little bit, but passes right back out.
Well, here's your chance if you want to interrogate one of these fools. Might be worth a shot. I don't know.
Oh, definitely. This one seems to be an acolyte. And Tinus will join Doc over at the body, or at the acolyte. And before I begin, like, trying to wake him up, I want to get a good look at his armor, weapons, and anything that might denote uh, sort of what he. I assume he worships Tiamat, but basically, I'm trying to get a good look at what he's wearing and what he has on him for any sort of information that might be useful.
Similarly to pretty much everybody that you fought in this cult, he seems to be wearing rather normal clothing. It doesn't seem to be different armor. He seems to just be somebody who is somewhat armed for battle, but overall doesn't really seem to stick out other than he looks kind of like a commoner in a militia.
Hmm. Any sort of what you call it? Spell focus?
Doesn't appear to be.
Interesting. Well, we'll get what we can out of him, but I guess I shouldn't get my hopes too high. I might have actually already gotten the information from my brief interactions with the cult on my way to meet you all. And once he is fully shackled, Tinus will just sort of tap his cheek until he wakes up.
Doesn't seem to be regaining consciousness. I'm gonna throw it out there. You guys can clearly tell this guy is trashed drunk.
Are there any exits from this room? It doesn't look like it, but I thought I'd ask.
The entrance that you all came in from.
How does command affects intoxicated people?
I don't see any reason why command would affect anybody who is unconscious.
Oh no, I mean when we wake him up, he'll still be drunk. So I'm just thinking a step ahead, more or less. Yeah, I'll give him a good whack. I'm not very strong anyway to wake him up properly.
Make an unarmed strike.
Does 0 damage still wake someone up? 10 for 0 damage.
Alright, I don't want to play this game. Can you guys tie this guy up in like a hog tie and leave? He's fucking wasted and you're not doing anything to wake him up right now.
Ah,
Like, he's sitting next to a keg. I've tried to tell you multiple times he's wasted. Shackle him, tie his feet up, whatever you'd like to do, but at present, this guy is useless. You have somebody captured. That is the point that I was giving you. Not to sit here and roleplay trying to wake up a wasted guy.
gotcha. All right, well,
Because if you're not going to do any damage, you're not going to be able to wake him up out of his stupor.
yeah, never mind then. Tynus can't hit people. Uh,
You can have somebody else hit him.
he's already shackled, so yeah, let's go. What'd you say?
You can have somebody else hit him.
I didn't realize it was always just automatically 0 damage,
Sure.
so I'll just smack him if you need me to.
Doc, I believe I'm not the right one for this. And he will step
Uh,
aside.
I'll give him a smack and pour myself a beer.
Still seems to be passed out. You can pour yourself an ale. Assuming you have some sort of like dop kit or meal kit. You seems like a pretty fine ale. It definitely seems a little stale for having been dropped over, but this seems to be a pretty nice ale for just some random person to be sitting next to a keg of.
Alright, I'm gonna smack him one more time, assuming my 4 didn't hit him.
Oh no, my bad. You're getting advantage on this, and this guy is prone, so that was a 16 and a crit.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna take the shackles and leave him tied up with rope instead, and tie him like to, I don't know how heavy the keg is, but tie him to something so there's no way he can escape while we continue the dungeon.
At this point, as you look around this room is cleared out. I'm trying to describe this was the treasury of the Raiders of Greenest. The coins leading out of this place and scattered about this room, as well as this ale, were all things that have basically been left behind as the camp apparently cleared out.
Gotcha. Oh, then yeah, we'll just leave him tied up here for now, and unless there's some like stalagmites stuck out of the ground, there's nothing we can really tie him to. But still, when both your limbs are hog-tied, there's no real way you're gonna move anywhere.
You could tie him to a bunch of cots in the barracks to the south of you, or you do know that there are pillars in the main hallway just beyond that trick door.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
we can just drag him over to the cot and tie him to a few cots or whatever and leave him behind.
Yeah, we'll come back for him.
So you can hog tie him in the barracks, tied up with a bunch of cots. So he is essentially attached to a nice train of things were he not also hog tied. What would you all like to do?
Now that we're not dead again, I say we go back and try to get into that chest, I guess, if we can. I could try those thieves' tools again, or
I,
we at least just finish clearing out the dungeon.
I could give you guidance on that. Hopefully, Lothander will be able to guide your hand.
Well, it's
Y-
worth a shot. Uh, if
y-
if we're assuming that Landerosa cast that on himself and just like took off instantaneously, then maybe there's something left in there, but it could just be a diversion.
It's a distinct possibility, but the chance for any information is better than, you know, potentially none. Plus, even if we do activate the trap again, this time we know to run out of the room in the other direction.
Yep, but the thing is, why should we run out in the other direction? I think we cleared the enemies, and
Oh, we were
yeah,
running from the poison gas that the chest released.
Yeah, if you want to guidance me and
yeah.
everybody stand back so we don't all get hit by it, that would work. Or you guys could walk over to the other entrance, like the stairs that just opened up, and stand like out of the way over there. But I mean, I can try to hold my breath so potentially I don't take the fumes in and just have to dodge the acid. I mean, it's worth a shot.
As you all look around, it is the main section of this area that is encircled. I feel like I have a pink circle drawn around it that is not in view for you all.
Yeah, I can't see any pink circle.
Me
Now I
neither.
blocked everything.
I can see a
You
big
can't
pink
see
circle.
anything right now, Jamie?
Nope. All I can see are the people in room 11 that are dead.
Can you see anything now?
I can see all the
No.
map, but I can't see a pink circle anywhere.
What the fuck can your character not see in this damn room for?
I mean, like I can see the map. I can't see anything in room 13.
Oh
I was able
goddamn.
to see
That
stuff.
can you see room 9?
I'm reloading.
Are you in blackness right now? I don't think reloading is the problem. I think there's something wrong with this map that seems to not show you things. Let me see. I think I'm just gonna redraw the actual shape to show you all where the dragon heads basically follow this room.
Interestingly, I can see room 9, but I cannot move my token into it. I just noticed that. I can move it away from it, back into that little tunnel, but not into the room itself.
All right, I just picked up room 9. I can see it.
Drew the fucking circle on the GM map again. All right,
Oh
so
no, I
that
see it now.
circle of orange, I know I put it on that site. That circle of orange is specifically where all of the dragon heads around this room lead around. So as you are now looking at it and have experienced them vomiting forth acid, you can clearly pick out the black dragon heads, which are the ones that were vomiting the acid. You can clearly see that they have a hole in their mouth that it was coming from, and that is the area where they basically line the freeze around the top of the room.
All right, perfect. So after he guidances me, everybody else will stand back out of the range, and I will attempt to pick the lock again.
Yeah, so it is essentially a dex check for you with an extra d4.
Where is my guidance?
The
Once again,
moment
All
you
right,
said guidance in the armory, I assume that you had basically touched him to give him guidance over the next minute. You hear a little click, and the lock seems to pop open.
got it. That worked out just fine. And then I'll search
Oh,
the
my bad. I did a
chest.
terrible job of describing it. The chest got eaten by the fucking acid. My bad.
oh,
I'm a fucking
No,
idiot.
no.
I
never mind.
got completely distracted by other bullshit happening. Because this is another thing that I was looking up on the break. Because it was like, goddamn, what the fuck happens with acid and all of these materials? Um, so yeah, you would actually come back into this room and you would see that most of the chest has been eaten away. There are signs of some of it where apparently the acid didn't necessarily hit or didn't necessarily fall as it vaporized, but there is essentially a pile of gold, and then there is almost like melted puddles of what you can assume, and this is my lack of metallurgical knowledge, of what you can assume is copper and silver that has broken down beneath the acid. But the gold coins seem to be perfectly clean, absolutely beautifully sparkling. And again, you would pretty quickly pick up on the fact that the acid appears to have cleaned the gold, eaten away at much of the copper and much of the silver.
Hmm. Can can you help me move
So,
my token? I can't get it into the room. Thank you.
as you go back over and look at things, though, with your dexterity check, I will give you that as you kind of look at it, there is another trigger in the floor that seems to be resting across the corner of where the chest was. And it's reasonable to assume that this chest and the weight in some way is still holding this trigger that, again, you can assume is part of the trap that released acid.
Ah, so that's the mechanism.
Well,
Yes,
no, no. You never touched that the first time. That is a second mechanism, is what I'm telling you. From that
Okay.
20, he can recognize that there is a second mechanism. So you can guess whether or not it might cause the acid to spout forth again. But this mechanism was not in the lock. The first mechanism that you tripped was in the lock for doing a poor job picking the lock.
don't remove the remainder of the chest. There's still another trigger here. Grab a couple rocks, something heavy, and we'll clear out the loot and fill it up with them instead to make sure it doesn't trigger. And then I'll proceed to take the loot and put rocks in its place.
Yep. Rocks first, then loot.
Yeah, I think it would take you a few
The old
minutes to
Indiana
basically.
Jones.
What was that, Doc?
Oh, I said the old Indiana Jones switch.
I think it would take you guys a few minutes to notice that there's not really much for rocks in this room. There seems to be a good bit of corroded damage to much of the finer masonry that was once a part of this area, as like the acid essentially settled into things. But if you head up the stairs or back into that little area where you came from, it is pretty easy to eventually spot different bits that you can take like a piece of rock and try to weight that mechanism that you had spotted.
Okay,
Okay.
great. We'll find the closest rocks and we'll do like I said.
So let
Yep.
me have a investigation with advantage from you, Doc. And then let me have you roll a D100.
That for?
And let me have you roll, let's see, 4d6. So there is 150 gold pieces that you are able to pick away from this. You can spot that there are more coins that seem to have basically been absorbed into the silver and copper that seem to have melted with the acid, but you're not able to like pry them away. But at present, you are able to pull that out. And then let me have you roll another D100, please. And then 2d6. You spot 12 tiny diamonds that seem to be inside of this little chest that has melted away. And you are able to pull them forth and collect those as well. For the sake of writing them into the party loot list, they are 12 diamonds worth 10 gold apiece.
That's nice.
Not a bad pull. It was definitely worth coming back here. Shall we move along and keep this party running?
Yeah.
I'm just doing the loot list. 12 diamonds worth how much apiece?
10.
And you could put in a total of 153 gold, 5 silver, and 18 copper if you don't mind.
No problem.
A couple of those were just random stuff I had found that I hadn't updated the loot list with. So
Say that gold number again. I have to add it to the current amount.
153 gold, 5 silver, and 18 copper.
Oh wow, I've never
Shall
actually
we see
looked at the
what's?
rest of this.
Should have a decent amount in there actually. Should we
Some
see
good
what's up
scrolls in there.
there now?
Yes, let's proceed forward. I'm disappointed there was no parchment or information in that chest, but I suppose even if there was, the acid probably would have eaten it first.
Yes, with Landerosa still alive, I'm not sure how much resolution we'll get from this area, but it's worth a try to finish off any of the remainder cultists. I think they're likely to disperse without their leader, though.
Hmm. And we do at least have one potential source of information to come back to.
Are you all walking down that hallway while you're still speaking?
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking in character, so yeah. Haven't learned my lesson.
Never. Why would you stop talking as you explore? You see a large room before you. It seems to have a cliff that drops off to the south, as well as kind of like a dark abyss that drops off to the east, and a stairway that seems to be in the center part of this main cavern that you have just walked into.
I'm assuming we do not see any enemies.
At present, you do not.
We'll continue to cautiously explore this area.
Now being quiet.
Just gonna throw it out there. If there were enemies in here, they already know about you.
Ah, well, no point now then.
That's why I asked. Did you walk away from that room before you started talking, or as you were talking? So as you come into this room, there seemed to be a large area that drops off to the south. It is quite moist in this room. It smells of iron and rot. It is quite foul. As well as you very quickly spot that there appears to be two guard drakes that are around the base of some of these stalactites, and they seem to be like almost coiled up around the base of these things.
Are they statues or real?
Do you want to go poke them?
No, I thought I'd be able to tell from here.
Roll an investigation or a perception? Roll a perception.
Apparently not.
They appear to be statues.
I'm gonna head over to that abyss you mentioned and see if I can see what's down
Roll initiative, please.
in it. Oh, kobolds.
Under campaign notes, Doc will write down too many lizard creatures and not enough sleep.
Alrighty, so as you walk over to the edge, we're going to hear a light little whirling, almost like the hum of insects, like a swarm of insects across that area. And the moment your head kind of peeks across the top area, the first bit of light shines down on a red bit of flesh, and you are brushed by a rock as an 11 will miss you, and it flings right past your ear with the slightest bit of a sensation. As a kobold will run forward, climbing up the wall, come up beside you, yelling, "Get him!"
I should have learned to expect you all, shouldn't I?
Should learn to not talk while you guys are exploring. Talk in the room and then say, "And now we're going to walk on."
That's probably smart.
So
Okay.
you are presently no longer surprised. Doc, you are no longer surprised. So hard to whisper with them. With advantage, 23 to hit you for 3 bludgeoning,
Ouchie.
21 to hit you for 3 bludgeoning. Vicious, you are no longer surprised. 16 to hit you for 4 bludgeoning. How do I have 2 viciouses on this initiative order?
Nobody's next to me.
And back up to the top. They are all in view of you guys at this point. Another one is going to attack at Tynus. 22 to hit for 4 piercing. Tynus, I assume you have one thing in mind as surrounded by cobalt.
Yeah. I have Word of Radiance in mind as I'm surrounded by kobolds. So, as I whisper the word for light in Celestial, I will cast Word of Radiance.
Oops, it's only the first 3 of them. So 2 of them will take 5 damage.
And then, let's see, what's my bonus action? I know I have one. Yeah, I'm gonna end my turn with a bonus action Shield of Faith.
That's a good one.
And it will go to Doc.
All right, I'm gonna just chuck a dagger at the northernmost kobold, no sharpshooter, and then one at the southmost kobold. I'll move if I have to get a clearer shot too.
I don't see a reason why you need it. Nope, those will kill both of them. My bad, token should be unlocked now.
I'm just gonna take like a strategic vantage point at the top of the stairs up here for the drakes, and then that's my turn.
Yeah, you all would. Well, I guess realistically, I fucking hate not having dynamic lightning.
If only they'd fix
Yeah.
it so it could be useful.
Vicious is the only one who can see that the drakes are actually there. But you would have still heard the call from the kobolds.
No worries. Well, you can just have me go over and investigate the dead bodies.
There aren't any kobolds left.
The kobolds are dead. Guard drakes. Let's see. I believe you all would hear a hissing sound from down below. Um, but that's kind of what you hear on that first little bit. As there's like a little bit of noise, there's a hiss, almost like a low roar, and then it will go to Vicious.
Down here, I can see a bunch of drakes. So then I run down the stairs. Probably a bad idea. Can I get over to this one? Or
Did
is
you
that too
measure
close?
your movement?
No. More than 30, though, I think.
Your movement's probably 30.
Mm.
I think you can only get to the end of the stairs.
I'll get to the end of the stairs, and then I will shoot this one that's on the, like, west.
It is behind cover. As you get closer to it, it seems to be wrapped
Oh!
around a large oval object that is inside of its tail, also behind the same piece of stalagmite that it seems to be behind.
Wait, it's got something. It's carrying something in its tail?
I didn't say it was carrying anything, but it appears to be wrapped around something.
Okay. All right. Well, so I will stand at the base of the stairs, completely exposed, unable to shoot at anybody. Wonderful.
Why would you be unable to shoot at it?
Can I shoot at the one at the south then? You said it was undercover or in cover.
It is indeed behind cover. It is not unable to be shot at. I was saying it's behind cover because it has increased AC while you shoot at it with a rock in front of it. And then there is a massive stalactite that is directly to the south of you, that would be almost about 8 feet wide, and you would see little bits of the tail of the other drake that is to the south of you.
All right. So I definitely can't hit the southern one. So I'll hit the southwest one or try.
A 12 will miss. As it kind of plinks off of its armor, it will go to that guard drake. This one will hiss as it also moves forward and does the same kind of thing to another ovuloid object that seems to be in front of this other stalactite, as it sort of wraps its tail around, and it will hiss at you as well as makes a little bit louder of like an almost growl as it stares you down. Hadar.
Well, as I do not see the dragons, I'm just gonna use my movement. And I'm gonna end it for now though because I can't see the dragons and I'm not sure what's happening, so yeah.
I believe with I believe Doc probably is still the only person who actually lights a torch in the dark, and Tynus has his mace lit up. So I believe you guys. Well, Tynus, you need to start lighting up your shield because you stow your mace while you were casting spells. Um,
Oh,
but
okay. Then
Doc
yeah.
has 30 feet of light, which would shine on. Damn, I think a torch is 20 and 20 dim. So you would see both of those at that point. It was their initial position that they were invisible, essentially, in the darkness.
Okay, so then if I see them for now, okay, I'm already moved there, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to move, and I'm going to move right beside Wishes, and that would be the end of my turn.
Hey, buddy. We'll die together again.
Yeah, I think we are not going to die.
As Hadar moves to the base of the stairs, moving up behind Vicious, a large pseudopod like tentacle whips out from the ceiling as it blasts into each one of them. And it will be 2 attacks on each of you.
I was not expecting that.
Ooh, a roper. I actually know a little about these guys.
Well, ignore that because you do not know anything about a roper.
You got it.
You have to stop having meta knowledge of monsters, or I will completely change every monster in the module, and that is a fucking pain in the ass.
As my
Uh,
bad.
a
This is
12.
way, way back.
I mean, I feel like you particularly fucked the Slod incursion because of your knowledge of Slod. I feel like you went way overboard with what you knew about Slod, and it definitely led to that TPK. The
Super
first
minor.
tendril attack will be at Vicious, and it will miss with a 12. The second one will be at Hadar. Third at Vicious. I believe a 14 misses Hadar.
Yeah, 14 misses me.
I believe a 21 will succeed on Vicious. And then it is going to pull Vicious into it as the last tendril swipes at Hadar. I believe a 16 will work on Hadar as well,
Yes.
as it pulls you into it as well.
How many legs or whatever does this thing have?
It looks like a stalactite.
Oh, it doesn't look like an octopus?
It looks like a massive stalactite, almost like it was a rock that has just come to life, and the rock is trying to bite you. And it will do 11 piercing damage to you, Vicious. And then it will go to Tynus.
All right. So, my bad on knowing things. I research monsters independently, just on
Yeah,
sheer
that's
impulse.
fucking really fucking annoying for a DM. That's part of why it sucks DMing for DMs.
Yeah, I will. I don't know when these things are coming. It's just
No,
whenever I
but my
happen to.
point is you have to block that meta knowledge out because I feel like you started to suspect shit that you shouldn't have suspected when you were coming in contact with the slot, and it led you to doing stupid ass things versus encounters that were not slot encounters.
That is true. I did. That did color pretty much every action I made after that. I will block out any of the stuff I know about. I don't know, whatever random thing we happen to bump into.
Just
You
try
need to
to
be the
enjoy the game as if you were ignorant of these things, as if you were the character that you were playing and not the person who is playing that character who apparently reads the monster manual.
It is still fun to see them. Like I have fun like in seeing the thing and like, ooh, I get to fight one. But I get totally what you're saying. Uh, just stop. I'll stop reading my monster manual. All right. So back current encounter. Just focus on the encounter. Yeah. What can I don't do do do. And I have my light currently cast on my mace, not my shield. So I probably can't. Well, no. I don't have any reason to not have my mace out right now since all the kobolds are dead. This area hold down here is not lit up for me, right? Like I can't see much of it.
The light is casting down into those areas, but both you and Doc have light sources. My point is, though, is until you get Warcaster, you cannot have your mace in your hand while casting anything with somatic components.
Gotcha.
You have to stow your weapon in order to cast. So lighting up your mace is fine. It's just something that you essentially are blocking out every time you cast a spell. You go into a dark mode.
I see. Well, then going for it, I'll start putting it on the shield because I'm not necessarily attempting to be stealthy. I guess I'll move here to the top of the stairs. That should give me at least a good view of what's happening to those two.
We're becoming
Uh,
lunch.
it's hard to tell what I do and don't know, but uh,
You know your friends are
I can
currently being eaten by a stone stalactite.
good. That's what I needed to hear that I did know. And the guard drakes are currently not attacking them.
They both
Wait, I
appear
can't
to
see
be
from here.
wrapped around large ovaloid objects.
Do I recognize those ovaloid objects?
Roll a perception check. They seem to be stalagmites or stalactites. Yeah. God, now I can't even
Well,
keep them straight.
for the sake of anything, I have no idea what those things are, like even out of character. So, eh. How do I get those two? Fire on the. I guess I shoot the. No, it's a stalactite. I wouldn't know that. Hmm. Uh, yeah, shooting the stalactite, I guess, with my crossbow. So stowing the shield. Actually, then I can't see. Crap. This is ridiculous. Um. Hmm. I need to cast light on my shield, but that'd be my action for this turn. Rather, wait, no, that's a
Doc
bonus
has
action.
light that is lighting up this area.
All
You
right,
can
cool.
see whether you have your mace out or not. My point is, though, is that in the future, you need to keep a hold of the fact that stowing your mace to cast is costing you light.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then for now, I will simply cast a sacred flame on the stalactite, since it is clearly antagonizing my friends at the very least. I have no idea what it is, but it's fighting, so it must be able to die.
A good way to distinguish living things.
So that is a sacred flame.
Solid 0. It will take 6 damage.
Woo! So it has a -1 at least.
Doc, what
And
would you
with
like
that,
to do?
oh no, I don't have my bonus action.
I will throw 2 daggers at the.
If you wanted to use a bonus action, I don't see why you can't. Your turn was just taking about an hour, so I wanted to move on quickly.
Oh, well then, while Doc is doing that, bonus action would have dropped a spiritual weapon over there.
Most certainly attack with your spiritual weapon. Still moving on, though, Doc, what would you like to do?
What? How big is that drop down?
I feel like this one is like 10 or 15 feet. It's certainly sizable. What is it? That's two stairs. Yeah, I think it'd be about 10 feet. I think it's 5 by 5 on each stairway, basically.
All right, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, my bad. It's 15 feet.
I'm just gonna move right here and chuck 2 daggers at the western drake with sharpshooter. Nothing.
Both will miss as they clink off of its scales.
There we go.
Bite and a tail attack at Doc for 9 piercing and 5 bludgeoning damage.
Am I assuming those hit or?
Yeah, 25 and a 23 to hit.
All right, and you hit for what was it?
9 piercing and 5 bludgeoning.
All right, I'll do a parry on the 9 piercing one.
And then Vicious, you are currently grappled. You have no movement. You can try to escape as an action, or you can still attack as normal.
Do I take damage by just hanging out next to the stalactite?
I think you can probably guess that it is going to bite anybody that it has grappled, that it is putting you in its mouth.
It shouldn't have a mouth. That's just wrong. All right, I'm gonna try to break free. Sorry, roll dexterity.
I think that's what it said. It is a DC 15 strength check.
Strength save.
I'm pretty sure it's a strength check.
Okay, be
6
this.
will not work.
Well, I felt pretty comfortable hanging out here, so I'll just stay.
And Doc, you had a total of, what was it, 7 damage for the parry? Or was it 8? Like the reduce
Yeah, I did it. 7 damage.
word. So total of 7 damage was dealt to you there. And then it will go to the other guard drake. It still seems to be holding about whatever it is coiled around. Hadar, what would you like to do?
Well, first of all, I would want to escape to
You
the
also can
nearby
make a
tender.
strength check. Disadvantage.
Well, that didn't work.
And from there, it will go to the grappler, or this roper. It is going to make a single attack at each of you. Oh no, it doesn't have to do those two. Yeah, so it's going to do the first tendril at Doc, second tendril at Tinus. 22 to hit Doc, it will drag you forward. And Tinus, it will grab you and drag you forward as well.
Dang.
My bad, it can only drag you 25 feet.
I would say my armor class was 18.
It critted you with a 28.
Wow, dang.
Wait, are you saying its range is 25 or it grabs you
No,
20
its
feet?
range is 50, but it can pull you in with real 25 feet. Yeah, so it drags the two of you there. It is going to bite down on that's going to be on Vicious again. 15 to hit for 28 piercing. I believe 15's your AC.
Talking to me.
Vicious 28 to hit, or 28 damage for 15 AC. I believe that's a hit. Then it will go Tinus. You are grappled and about 5 feet away from the roper.
I'm not even gonna bother trying to break that out. Strength is not what I'm here for. So I'm just gonna keep attacking this thing. Yeah, we'll drop another what you call it? Since that worked last time, Sacred Flame and Spiritual Weapon Slam.
That has a 14. It will take no Sacred Flame.
14.
14 does not hit.
Dang it.
It just clinks off of it as if it is hitting stone. And then it will go to Doc. You also are grappled and restrained. My bad. You guys are all grappled and restrained right now.
All right, so is there disadvantages only to strength checks and saving throws, or are there other effects in place right now?
You have disadvantage to strength saves and checks, and your attack rolls have disadvantage, as well as disadvantage on dexterity save.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there. You guys do realize that there's zero possibility we're going to take these things down, right?
I mean, I don't think
Two
there's
hit
zero
points.
possibility.
I I just want to throw it out there. Just get away from it.
I
It
tried.
has 50-foot range and does an average of like 20 to 30 damage per strike. So, and we're gonna have disadvantage on all our attacks and attempts to break free. So,
It looks bleak, but maybe we can pull it off.
all right, I'm going to throw 2 daggers.
Both will miss. That guard drake moves back down to the same little object that was coiled around. It will kind of coil itself around the thing, and it is going to pull it 15 feet to the west of you all. Vicious.
How big are these things that these egg-like things or whatever?
You are almost dead getting eaten by a stalactite.
I know. I'm just curious about the things that the dragons are holding.
They are approximately the size of a kobold, if not a small human. Why are you not raging? You raged against like 4 kobolds earlier. Why are you not raging against something that is huge?
I was wondering that too.
Totally forgot about it, honestly.
It's the main component of a barbarian.
I just completely forgot about it. That's all. All right. So can I go into a rage now? Since I'm like, 2 seconds away from dead.
It is a bonus action to rage.
Yeah, it's always an option on your turn, but you also are correct that you are almost dead at this point.
Like, I literally totally completely forgot about it. I don't know why. All right, so we're all just gonna die then. So I will not rage because I don't think there's a point.
Raging gets half damage. There's always a point.
All right, fine. I'll rage. Does that mean
I
the
mean,
19
if
takes me
you
out?
no, because it's still you still have disadvantage. It's still a straight roll, but it's a straight roll instead of disadvantage when you're trying to do stuff in rage.
Well, then there's literally nothing I can do right now because, I mean, you know.
By actively raging, you do take half damage in the future. But my point is why did I have to do almost 50 damage to you before I then had to ask you why you weren't raging?
It literally never occurred to me today. I don't know why. Okay, so I'll go on a rage now, but 2 hit points will kill me, so whatever. I'll go on a rage.
The other guard drake will do the same as it seems to slide this object to the back of the cave. Hadar, what would you like to do?
Again, I would like to wait. Can I still punch it?
You can certainly try.
Then I would try to attack it because I have a feeling that 50 feet are too far away to run. Well, I feel like that's not gonna hit.
That is indeed going to miss.
And I'm gonna spend a key point to do a flurry of blows.
An 11 will miss. And a 10 will
Uh,
miss.
Somehow today is not a good day for good rolls. And that would be the end of my turn. Yeah.
It's going to reel in the last two. It will bite down on... Who is 4? Hadar. A 22 to hit. It will do 23 piercing.
Damn.
And then to Tinus.
And I can't click on my token, so you probably have to do it.
Alright, I am going to cast Command Drop. So that's a DC 13 Wisdom save.
It seems to have no effect.
Crap, rolled too high. Let's see. Yeah, that was my action, so then I will just bonus action hit it with the spiritual weapon again. Go down swinging. 8 will miss. Yeah, never mind.
Roll an intelligence check for me, and then Doc, it will go to you.
Okie dokie. 3.
Yep, it's Doc's turn.
I will just don my shield.
Vicious. If you do not attack this turn, and if it does not attack you,
I
you
got
will
out.
lose your rage.
Cut out. Okay, I will attack it. I will attack it with 2 axes, because then maybe I can hit it with one of them. And I will go, what do you call it? Help. The thing that gives me advantage.
Reckless.
That thing. Yeah, reckless.
22 will hit. So
One
everyone
hit.
recognizes a 19 missed.
That's insane.
Dealing 7 damage to it. Roll a d6. You are not out. You are still grappled. You're still restrained.
I thought I passed the strength check.
It is a contested strength check, and it rolled higher. If you tried to do the strength check, you would have failed, and you would have lost your rage.
Okay.
My point of telling you was that if you tried to break free, you were going to lose your rage if it didn't roll to attack you. Hadar.
Well, I'm going to try to attack it again. I mean, what else could I do?
12 will miss.
Then I'm gonna use my bonus action and I'm gonna hit it again.
A 20 will hit.
For 5.
One more flurry of
Yeah,
blows
that would be
attack.
the end of my turn.
Oh, did you not do a
Then
flurry?
No, I didn't do a flurry this time, so I would feel kind of wrong if I do it afterwards.
It's the same modifier though. It's just like that tag. We'll go to the
I
roper.
mean, if you say I can,
Well,
if you
you
say I
click
can
the
still
button that
do it,
says
I would
flurry of
do it.
blows. That's why I asked. Versus, I think the
Okay,
unarmed strike and the
whatever.
flurry are the same. So I think it's a bonus action regardless, but it's the question of whether you meant to do a flurry or not.
I meant to do the normal one, so I clicked it by mistake. In the end, I thought I would have done it, but no, I didn't do it, so it's not. Let's just say I did a normal one.
The tendrils will grab two of the bodies of the kobolds on the ground, dragging them into it.
So did it release somebody?
No. It has 6 tendrils.
Only one mouth, right?
It's only been biting one person a turn. I'm trying to give it things to attack that are not you guys. It's going to bite down on Doc. A 24 to hit for 24 piercing. And it will go to Tinus.
All right. I'm gonna burning hands the heck out of this creature, casting at level 2 for 46 fire.
Yeah, you don't really have to put the spell down. You can just aim it away from your friends and roll the damage.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna do. And for 12 fire damage, burning right into this thing, and then spiritual weapon swings again.
5, it will fail, taking the full 12. 24 hits for 8.
And that is my full turn.
I believe that would be the first sign of some sort of like miasma coming from this thing as little bits of rock and apparent flesh break away from it. And it will go to Doc.
I'll do rapier attack on it.
23 hits for 10.
I'm gonna add a superiority die to it as well.
Is that the dropping thing?
Yep, and then I'm gonna attempt to get it to drop. I guess me. I don't know. It might only work for weapons. I'm looking right now. It just says disarm the target. It doesn't say like what it drops or whatever.
What's the DC on it? It rolled a 15. I don't think it would drop anything, but Vicious, what would you like to do?
Attack. 2 axes.
23 hits. 6 misses. And roll a d6.
Wait, I have aura of thing.
That's literally what the extra
Oh, roll
d6
a-
is for.
Crap. I was hoping I get more.
And it will go to Hadar.
I'm going to continue to hit it.
A 9 will miss.
This time I'm gonna use my flurry of blows.
A 14 will miss. And a 16 will miss.
Damn it, it's really high AC.
You guys know that it is 20 AC.
Got some plate armor.
It is rock. It is going to bite down on Hadar.
Uh-oh.
19 to hit for 19 piercing.
Yeah, I'm dead. It's like 90 will hit for sure.
It will go to Tinus.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again. Burning hands the heck
Hold
out of this
on.
creature.
You just saw your friend get bit as he went unconscious. You are probably the only person who can currently get to him with a heal from a distance. So keep that in mind.
Oh no, I was thinking about it.
If
But
you
yes,
cast Burning Hands, you cannot cast Healing
right,
Word.
right. I can't bonus action two spell that. Thank you. I didn't. That did not occur to me. All right.
This thing is close too severely miasmad?
Yeah, we're gonna sacred flame this boy. So DC 13, and then gonna bring up Hadar back again with a healing word.
It will fail, taking 5. Taking it to being severely damaged, as you see massive cracks in it, and perhaps the first signs of actually flesh beneath the rock-like exterior. And Hadar, you will be at 7 hit points. It will go to Doc.
Oh, praise Lothander.
You see like Hada growing back the parts that got bitten out.
Do a rapier attack on it.
24 hits.
Gonna add an extra d8 damage. 16 total.
It is looking incredibly injured.
I'm going to action surge. Going to rapier attack it again. Going to add another d8 damage. 14 more.
How do you want to do this?
Yes!
As it has a hold of Doc, he just stabs it directly into its eyeball and screams out, "This is how I'd have had mine." And then he digs it down in and just swishes it around until its brains turn to mush.
Vaguely doubt this thing has brains, but excellent. I definitely think you can swirl the rapier around inside.
Oh, you guys need to trust the DM more. He's not gonna throw stuff at us that's only gonna kill us.
At disadvantage, that thing would have definitely killed you all there.
Every one
Yeah.
of those, every one of those attacks should have been at disadvantage. There's literally no way we could have ever killed that.
That thing 100% alone would have been a absolutely deadly encounter. It would have been quite epic had you all gone Nova right away. But to take any time where you guys were half-assing it without using all of your abilities, front-loading everything that you can do in a day, that thing was going to kill you regardless. And that's one of the things that, like, you've got to figure out the difference between walking up on a couple of kobolds and walking up on something that is a monstrous creature that is hiding in plain sight and seems to be just absolutely craziness. And that's just one of those things where that creature was something that all of you should have been using all of your abilities right off the bat.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's a challenge rating 5. Had you guys had 6 players, it would have been easier. And it would have still been a deadly encounter, I'm sure, with 6 players at level 4. But 4 level 5s is like an even fight with that thing. 4 level 4s, that was a vicious, deadly encounter. Had you guys walked up on that immediately after fighting Langdorosa, almost guaranteed it's going to murder everyone.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm so happy we didn't run this way.
High AC.
What about the dragons in the corners? Are they like hiding? We can see them right now. Yeah, you're right. So
Oh, why did you have me roll intelligence in there?
Because I was trying to give you a clue. I don't actually remember what the clue was at this point, but I was trying to give you a clue. And after a while, it seemed like it was going to be everybody's going to die if I don't just start telling you everything that I'm thinking.
Fair enough. I was thinking
But
about the whole
to
attack
be
the
honest,
tentacles thing.
I don't remember what you were doing at the time that I was trying to give you the clue. No, I was not going to give people the clue to attack the tentacles, but that's part of the problem with meta knowledge, because that's one of the things that would have been much more viable. But they also are 20 AC. It's a really great way to sink 60 extra hit points of damage into something that you can't hit.
It's true.
but I don't remember what you were rolling for when I had you roll the intelligence check, but it was essentially for me to give you a clue.
Cool, cool.
Apparently, it didn't work for any of us.
No, he rolled a 3.
Yeah, if only I'd gotten that clue.
He asked a question that was relatively pertinent to a character fighting a roper, and I don't remember what it was at this point. Once I actually watch the video, I'm sure I can answer it for you next time. But yeah, overall, that's just
Yeah, I fought one of these.
Remember the clues.
That
I
was
fought one of these
fun.
things one time before in a different campaign. With we had 4 level 5s. One of them ran away, 2 of them died, and I was only able to action surge run away because there was like a corner nearby, and then I killed the necromancer who ran away and left us all for dead. And he shot me with a fireball when he could have fireballed the fucking creature and probably saved the other 2 people's lives.
Why did somebody in your party shoot you?
No,
Ooh,
he left us all for dead because he didn't think that we could get away or kill the thing. So he just walked away and said, "Well, too bad." And then I action surge ran away from the roper because I broke through with my strength check after it killed the other 2 people, knowing there was no way I could kill it on my own. And then I PvP'd him, and he shot me with the fireball, which he could have used to probably kill the roper, and instead decided to save. So after I killed him, I chopped off his hand and used it to get through like a door so that I could get back to an area and rest.
dang, that's intense.
Oh,
I'm glad
it
none of
was
us ran.
absolutely ridiculous. I literally was like, dude, if you had a fireball, why didn't you use it on the fucking roper and try to save the other 2 people in our party? And he was like, oh, I just figured that was it. There was no chance, so I better just save myself. I was like, well, how'd that work out for you? Laying there dead with no hand.
Yeah.
it was in a one shot, no less, too.
Oh wow.
Like, you really want to save
It
your
was
character in a fucking one shot?
You're gonna run away from a fight in a one shot. Come on, dude.
and of all the things that you could run away with, like I get it if you're running away because you're an archer and you want to get some range, or if you're running away because your character does 5 damage or something like that. But against something with extremely high AC, the best thing you're ever going to hit it with is something that makes it have to take a test and it has to take half damage regardless. So hitting it with the fireball is pretty much like a guaranteed like 12 to like 50 damage or whatever, 40 damage.
A dex test specifically.
Yeah, so I'm like, you literally ran away with the most effective ability to potentially kill this thing without even attempting to shoot it off one time. You could have shot the fireball and then ran away and at least attempted to save our lives. Instead, you saved the fireball, used it against me, and then got murdered.
Anyway, I guess
But yeah,
we'll.
those things are ridiculous, and we were fighting it at level 5. So at level 4, I think it's probably impossible to kill that thing.
Right, but we still have these 2 drakes in the corners of the room, don't we?
Yep, they have basically slid themselves into those corners with whatever it is that they are coiled around.
Oh,
Probably
I
to get
figured
away
it's
from
for
the
sure
roper.
eggs. Yeah, we could definitely kill those things, but
They are
I was just
100% dragon eggs.
That's what it
yeah.
sounded like.
That's interesting.
Or
Dragon
football.
eggs.
Is there a possibility uh to force these dragon eggs into big dragons and then have a dragon for myself?
Depends on the dragon. I mean, if they're chromatic dragon eggs, the dragon would just be evil no matter what we did with it.
Yeah, man, but if it still serves me, it can be evil. I don't care.
Right, it's like a pig that's likely to eat you.
Looking around,
Likely to eat you is the scary part.
looking around this cavern, does it look like there's any ways for something large like a dragon to get into the area we're at?
Yeah, I think dragons have.
I think from what you all have come across here, probably not.
definitely killing the drakes and stealing the dragon eggs.
Do we still have time this session?
I mean, we can take a few moments to wrap things up here. I'm not necessarily going to run out the battles between these guard drakes. Um, so it kind of depends how you all want to go about this. At present, they don't seem to be looking for a fight. It's almost as if they are trained to protect the eggs.
What guys? The problem is the dragon eggs in the enemy's hand.
I
I
believe
mean,
it would definitely be best to acquire those dragon eggs for ourselves. The fewer dragons they have at their disposal, the better.
you guys could just simply destroy the cave.
Oh, you mean leave the eggs here, destroy the cave, and let the eggs die?
Yeah, I think
I
that would be enough.
don't think we should do that.
I bet you just wanna
Perhaps we
wanna
could
eat
use
some breakfast with the dragon eggs. I know what you wanna do. I know it. Sure, man.
a fine enough guess, but I was thinking more bargaining chips, perhaps. This is a dragon cult. I assume dragon eggs are valuable to them.
Okay, we can split them. We keep some, and the other ones are for breakfast.
My friend, while you are quite wise, I don't believe that's a very wise decision.
Yes, there are probably nothing more valuable in the entire empire than those two dragon eggs, especially in the hands of someone like Landarosa, who, may I remind you, escaped. So we're going to need to dispose of these creatures and take them back securely.
I just want to remember you
Yes.
guys. Imagine how good it would taste for such a treasure to eat it.
Hmm. No. I'm sure
Did
there are
did
eggs
did
back at your camp, yes?
did you ever taste a dragon egg?
No. I don't think I have, and I don't think I want to.
All right, okay, we can leave this discussion for later because we have to get them out of here anyways if we wanna take them for breakfast or take them for yeah for anything else, whatever you guys have in mind. So
Dinosaur whispered to Doc, keep the eggs away from that one.
Yeah, and you can eat the rock stalagmite that we just killed.
I don't feel like losing my teeth.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna go kill those guard drakes and take those eggs.
Yeah, let's let's start with the one on the right.
Yes, let's.
Roll for initiative.
Oh shit, Doc's never been so ready for a fight in his life.
Want those eggs?
I want to point out that I have managed to select my token every time today.
Hey, good job, Jamie. You've got it.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to jinx it.
Then
I'm.
I forgot to go into rage, but I did remember to select my token.
You see, you're learning.
It's like
You're
an
gonna get
either
all of
or.
these soon.
Uh, so, Doc, you
I'm gonna
can
have more
lead off
experience.
I'm just gonna. I guess I'll shoot the one on the right since that's what everybody said they were going for. Nice.
into vicious.
All right, so do I still have my rage up or no?
Nope.
All right, I have another rage though, because we're ending after this, right? For like today.
For today, like the humans who are sitting at computers playing the game, yes.
But for
Okay,
Vicious
never
the
mind.
Orc,
All right, I won't go into a rage, but I do only have 2 hit points.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea to go into a rage. I'm just saying you have to start making the decisions.
Fine, I won't metagame it. I will not go into a rage and try not to die anyway.
I believe the 15 hits.
All right, that's it.
Tynus, what would you like to do?
Yeah, with an utterance of from death life, I will toll the dead. DC 13 wisdom.
19, no damage.
Man, these things do not have a bonus to wisdom, but I haven't hit one with this yet.
I'm pretty sure I've rolled 14, 17, and 19 for their actual Toll the Dead checks. Hadar.
They are lucky.
I'm gonna roll into close quarters really, and I'm gonna attack it with my stick.
Did you say you were gonna roll into close quarters?
Yes. See, it's faster this way, you know. He's faster rolling and walking.
7 misses. I
I'm
constantly
gonna use.
imagine Hadar as Jack Black as a panda.
he's he's Poe the Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, thing like that. Yeah.
He
Definitely
says
the
he's
cutest.
got he says he's got the sunbolt thing, but I see him doing like the little skadoosh with his pinky.
I love that movie.
Ooh, you can do the sunbolt and make an omelet.
Do not give him
Well,
ideas.
it lagged for me, so I probably hit rolled
20
twice.
and 14 both hit.
The 9, it lagged for me. It just came in late, so I rolled again, but just ignore it. 14 damage. I don't know what's happening to roll 20 again, because the first one I always roll the flurry of blows. It's always with the double roll, and the second one is a single one.
Let's see. 18 to hit Vicious for 6 piercing damage.
I'm down. Ooh, but it's the second day, or a different day from the other day when I died. So I'm gonna stabilize with 1 point.
Yeah, you'll have no death saving throws right now.
No, from the orc ability.
Oh, I got you. The second attack will be on Vicious for a 20 to hit for 5 bludgeoning.
Now you're down.
Wait a minute. So there were 2 attacks at the same time, right?
A
From the
bite,
same
then a
person?
tail. Yep.
Okay.
For a second there, I felt bad that it was going to attack you twice and do 2 death saving throws to you, but your orc ability makes me feel happier because now you're just down.
Well, so am I at 1? Like, do I save after both of them hit me, or am I
No,
just?
you're definitely at 0.
All right.
But you don't have 2 death fails. And it will go to
Okay.
Doc.
I'll throw a dagger at it.
19 hits.
Straight in the damn eyeball.
Looking bloodied.
I'm gonna throw one more at it too. I'm gonna use a luck on that one because we need to kill this thing so it doesn't eat vicious. And I will add a superiority die to it as well.
To hit or for damage?
Just to make sure. What's that?
Which superiority are you using?
Oh, to hit, to make sure it hits. I can't remember if they had like 14 or 16. I knew it was somewhere around there, but I just got to make sure that it hits. So it'd be 16 damage. Yeah, so 19 total to hit.
19 will hit. 16 will kill it. Rolling a death save for Vicious. The other guard drake roars out as it notices Doc throwing the knives towards the other egg and is going to charge him.
I'm actually like gonna move over to stabilize vicious before my turn's over. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
You can certainly try.
It'd be appreciated.
Can I try now or do I have to wait till next turn?
I think you'll have to wait till next turn.
Okay, it takes an action. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just move over there and then that'll end my turn. I mean, I don't know if you have any healing left, but regardless, I'll move over there. My bad. I don't know if that made a difference as far as his movement or whatever, but he could.
Yeah, he doesn't get to attack. Sadly, I don't have
Oh, okay.
legendary actions on these bitches, so. But no, I was rolling a stealth every single time that you were attacking from there to see if it was below its passive perception, to see if it noticed you attacking the egg.
Well, I just meant I didn't mean to say it like after you said you were going to attack me because I didn't know if it would have already been able to reach me and get an attack or if it would have had to run anyway.
Oh, you were the one person it could have actively attacked in its movement. So it certainly helped. It will go to Tynus.
Bonus action healing word to bring up Vicious.
Nice.
She rolled a 1, so she had 2 failed death saves right there.
Holy shit! Good thing too.
Yeah, I was gonna do it no matter what she rolled. It's better to.
I kind of figured, but I wanted you all to know that
So
I
Vicious,
like
you're up.
rolling the death saves hidden because you all don't know that when they choke on their blood, she's actively dying.
So Vicious, you're up with 4, and then as an action, we will just sacred flame this. Wait, hold on. No, it's at right next to me. I'm gonna word of radiance this creature with a whisper of dawn.
Whisper of what?
Dawn. He says dawn when he uses word of radiance. Dawn or light and celestial. Just words related to Lathander.
It will fail its save and take 5 damage, and it will go to Hadar.
Well, I'm gonna roll over again around Doc and Wishes. I'm gonna start hitting it again.
7 misses.
I'm gonna use a key point to do a flurry of blows.
24 hits. 20 hits.
For 12 damage.
And it will go to Dot.
I'm gonna move around over here and chuck a knife or two at it. Nice. For the extra 1 damage.
That's a nice crit. 1 damage crit.
And then I will. Man, I wonder if I should do a luck point on that. Yeah, I'll just burn a luck point on that one too. That didn't. So just a total of 17.
And it will go to Vicious.
Ooh, I can do something. I'm not dying anymore. All right, so I'm gonna run over. Oh, is that a ledge?
It's a stalactite.
Okay, because I couldn't get around it. So, can I hit the thing from here, or am I blocked?
You can move to right there and attack it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't, because with all the other little circles around, I didn't see, with about status, I didn't see that there was a stalactite. Okay, so I am going to use 2 hand axes again.
16 hit.
Because I have now realized that the wisdom of doing that. All right, so that is it for me.
Going to bite at Tynus and then whip its tail at Vicious.
I will warding flare that bite.
It will, I think 15 is your AC for 4 piercing, and then I think 14 will miss Vicious for 4 bludgeoning.
Oh, no. It missed. My armor class is 16 since I still have my shield.
That's unfortunate, and it will go to Tynus.
Yep. We're just gonna
Perspective.
continue to hurt this creature. Once again, just
Yeah, I think at this
told
point we're just going to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's not gonna make it out of this fight no matter what happens.
Just to let you all know, again, the Roper specifically did not TPPK you guys today. I need you guys to pretend like your characters are not invincible when you go into battles. But those guard drakes were pretty well fucked at this point. So continue on. We will pick up from here depending on what you all might want to do with these eggs. So talk about that inside of chat this next week, and then we will pick up on. It's going to be like a fast forward RP next session to get you all going where you are going as you go to rejoin with Leosin and share some information with what you guys have learned here. But it is essentially at this point, besides like the chance of like some random encounters here and there, it is predominantly going to be at least a single, almost entirely RP session coming up. Because we have to get you all across the Sword Coast.
Will we not be able to get any information out of that one dude we tied up?
That is among the things. He is still there for you all. I was trying to give you clues so you could tie him up and he could not get away.
We did do that. We did do. All right, just asking.
Are we going to hit level 5?
Yeah, you'll pretty much get level 5 in next session. Again, it's not really the type of thing that you guys are going to be doing anything particular next session. But yeah, I believe everybody will get level 5 probably once you like reach the actual city where you meet up with Leosin more than like just right now where you are, because you don't get it before you take a long rest anyways.
Makes sense. I will
Alright.
see you guys later.
But I don't foresee any. It's basically going to be at this point, almost entire weeks will go by where I will roll to see if there's an encounter during that week, more than there will be any sort of measure of hours, because you guys are essentially about to start traveling across the Sword Coast. And while, from what I have read, it's easily like a month of weekly campaigns to run this next chapter, and I have no interest in nearly entirely RP sessions going on for that long. So it's going to be a very different kind of thing where I'm going to be giving you a lot more information than you guys are going to get to play detectives, because I don't want to run that session.
Makes sense to me.
We're
I
not
gotta
good at.
bounce. I'll see y'all later.
All right, take it easy, guys.
See you guys next week.
Later,
So
yes.
what do we?
What was that, Jamie?
What are we gonna do with these eggs?
That's part of what I want you all to discuss in the actual chat to try to figure out what you all want to do. But that's kind of what we will pick up with next week, is what you all will do with the eggs and your captive.
I'll check out eBay prices.
All right, cool. See if we can auction them off.
Take it easy, Jamie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, definitely have a great Christmas.
Later.